All right, welcome everybody to our next session of Candlekeep Mysteries. So our group left off in some interesting circumstances, so we will see how that gets resolved. So starting with our quick recap. So when we started our session last time, you guys were still out in the bog, having got this encounter as you ran into this strange creature that rode on a horse and held its own head, seemingly humanoid perhaps, or some other type of creature, but it had a humanoid form, and holding on to the head there and riding out and towards you guys. And then there was also this type of hag, which I believe it was Brandel, that eventually was able to identify as a blood hag. So this battle went on as you guys had, I recall it was Brandel, had the horse rider telekinesis up in the air, and you guys continued whacking away at them, counterspelling them, dealing out some significant damage, and eventually were able to defeat these both of these enemies. And once you did, after having suffered some significant wounds here, decided to make your way out. During this time also, when Lexi unleashed her very powerful rage, and that turned into the form of this newly discovered psychic scream power, it unfortunately shattered Frederick's psyche, dealing some significant damage to him and causing him to be unable to sleep. So he got struck with the psionic insanity known as insomnia. But luckily, one of our allies here was able to restore that, and that was Leopold, calling upon his charm that he had gained back in Descent into Avernus to burn some charges of that to give a greater restoration effect to Frederick, who was then restored and able to continue moving on. As you guys did so, made your way out of this bog, more over the sort of plains or the typical landscape, and were able to conjure up that hut and get a bit of a rest. And during this time, right before the hut, right after the hut, you had this sort of strange encounter where you guys were scouting around this area a little bit. I believe it was Lexi and perhaps... I'm going to draw a blank here. Was it Frederick that went with her? I can't recall. It was two of them that kind of walked around and spotted this man who was sort of in the little tree line here watching them. He saw them, they saw him, but he did not seemingly notice that they saw him. So he thought he was sort of still hidden in this whole encounter, and they sort of just kept making their way, using a little bit of magic to communicate back and forth with a message spell and say, you know, hey, we've got this situation over here. We're not sure exactly what's going on here. But by the time that was all resolved, you guys kind of looked back in that area, he was no longer able to be spotted. So this was a little bit strange, but you guys decided to still get into the hut and try to get this rest in. During this time, you caught the scent of wood smoke, and a couple of you, or more than a couple of you, I think it was 4 of you, decided to leave the security and safety of the hut and make your way out towards this wood smoke to get an idea of what was actually going on out here. Unfortunately, maybe not planning ahead or just wanting to be extra stealthy, we had a couple people that couldn't actually see in the dark, moving through the pitch dark, holding on to 2 people that could see in the dark by their shoulders. So it was a little bit of Three Stooges effort to get over there and see what was going on with this wood smoke. But yeah, you guys eventually were able to determine that a humanoid figure was sitting nearby this fire and seemingly maybe just camping out here. You guys kind of eyed this. Your party was split. You didn't know exactly what the circumstances were. Didn't want to take on anything potentially dangerous, or maybe this was a trap. I believe even some of you voiced the thought that perhaps this individual is associated with the Black Network, or with Cthulhu, this name that you found on the paper back in the Temple of the Immortal Lotus, and decided to head back to the safety of the hut. Once you returned, you guys were able to get that long rest in, having spotted him, this figure, one more time as he was on the edge of your line of sight, getting closer to the hut. One of you guys, I think it was Leopold, stuck your head out of the hut and sort of called out like, yeah, we see you, come on, you know, if you want to talk, let's talk, or something like that. But if you hurt us, we're going to like totally just demolish you. Or it was kind of a funny, like, you know, throwaway comment, but also stating the seriousness of the moment. This figure kind of just laughed this off and then just walked away. Again, not necessarily knowing what the deal is. This guy, you've obviously run into him a few times now. Seemingly there's some kind of interest here, but you're not quite sure what it is. Eventually, you guys got that long rest in, woke up the next morning, and continued on your way to this cove area where you assume you're going to run into this Cthulhu figure. On your way there, you found this stick stuck in the ground with a few leaves that were sort of wrapped near the top. It stuck out very obviously, like it was clearly created or manufactured in this way. So you guys were a bit hesitant as you approached it, using some mage hands to go out there and try to undo this natural like leaf tie together. And inside of it turned out to be this kind of ointment, this white cream type. It was not really liquid. It wasn't runny. Think of it more or less like a moisturizer. And if we were thinking of something common today that it would be most comparable to. And in opening this, unfortunately, it was Frederick, who was not very dexterous with that mage hand, tearing open the leaves, and most of this concoction fell to the ground. You guys were able to determine that it did have a pretty pleasant smell to it. It had like a flowery smell to it. What exactly it was, hard to say. Maybe it was some type of a perfume or some other way of getting a more pleasant odor on to yourself or onto others. You guys were able to collect a little bit of this, and I think it was some kind of a vial. Actually, it was the vial that you guys had used from the nature creatures that you had drunk one of those sap concoctions. I think that was Frederick, who had taken a pretty big wallop and decided to drink that and restore some HP, and then use that same container to store this this cream. With that accomplished, you guys sort of called out, thinking that this was maybe a present left by the guy and that he was nearby. He did not seem to be, or if he was, he didn't come out when you guys called out. And with that done, you guys decided to continue on your way. You got closer to this cove area off in the distance. You could start to hear the sound of the waves coming into the shore, rolling up onto the shore. You guys started pushing through this a bit more of like jungle type terrain. As you got closer here, you had a few discussions sort of at the edge of perhaps any kind of action. You did notice that there was a few laborers of some kind dressed in very poor, downtrodden type clothing, and it seemed as though they were stacking boxes into a small rowboat. And the rowboat was just right there on shore. You guys watched this for a bit and came up with the plan of Frederick using a polymorph spell to turn Leopold into a crab, and then he would crab walk around the beach here and look for anything of interest. Around just before this time, actually, Brandel also sent one of his familiars, I think it was a raven or a crow, up into the air to kind of get a visual inspection. He was able to get a little bit of peek of what was going on before he just suddenly was phased away. Those of you that were of keen eye nearby were able to see a strange looking arrow had flung from the south straight up, struck into this bird, and dispatched it very easily. So we move back to Leopold in crab form as he starts moving across the sand and just kind of scouting things out. Certainly can make out these laborers, continues along the shoreline. There's a bit of a bluff near the south side of this whole scenario, and he is able to spot a very strange looking creature. At first, being a crab, doesn't really know what it is, and just tries to stay away from it for the most part, and then hops down into the water for a nice watery escape, but sticking pretty close to that shoreline. Gets back, heads back to the group. The polymorph is dispelled, and then he tries to describe what it was that he saw. A very strange set of circumstances, though, because through the mind of a crab, the intelligence obviously much, much worse than Leopold, sees things different, interprets things different, the perception just completely off. So he tries to recall what he remembers as a crab and convert this into humanoid type knowledge, and is able to do so successfully, passing his check, and determine that this creature he spotted down to the south is what's known as a Dracotar. So Dracotars, you can sort of think of them as like centaurs, but draconic in nature, meaning they have a lizard or draconic-like back end with more of a, long lizard sort of horse-type situation with an upper body that is, again, draconic, more like... maybe almost you could think of it if you took a lizard folk centaur, but the back of the centaur, again, is lizard rather than horse. Very strange indeed. He knows that these are pretty potent warriors. They're known to be somewhat fierce adversaries, and they are quite competent in combat. With this information relayed, you guys have a bit more discussion. Brandel, actually I think it was Frederick, he cast a couple spells silently using his subtle spell. This doesn't trigger anything out of the ordinary, but then Brandel decides to cast a spell, or I think maybe it was Frederick a second time without the silence, and this was a flight spell, but this time with the verbal components, it causes a sudden eruption around in the ground, as these figures suddenly burst forth from the ground and engage you in combat. They look to be dragonborn mages or dragonborn wizards of some kind, arcane spellcasters for sure, riding these giant scorpions. So the rider and the scorpion moving in tandem to get up closer to you, allow that deadly scorpion tail to flash out, potentially hit you for some significant damage plus the poison, and the mage riders, of course, chucking some spells at you guys, trying to hit you with some scorching rays, some heat metals, all that fun damagey goodness. So you guys managed to, for the most part, demolish these guys. Particularly effective was Dell's use of his fear aura that caused a lot of these guys to be unable to move, and several of the rest of you guys also really poured on the damage and got some creative tactics going to really protect yourselves and limit the sort of danger that you put yourselves in. As you have most of this battle wrapped up, Frederick decides to chase after the rowboat, which one of those laborers hops into the rowboat and starts making his way off to the east. You're not sure exactly where he's going. Some of you have speculated that there must be a ship somewhere nearby that they're going to take the rowboat out to. Certainly logical conclusion there. As Frederick continues heading to the southeast, he passes over the water and is getting very close to that boat when he notices the rowboat itself kind of goes into this strange visual ephemera and is sort of folded in this kind of almost like a cloth in a sense. As he bursts through to that side, realizes that this was an illusion, and the illusion was actually hiding a very large ship that had several individuals on it, including a particularly notable, distinguishable dragonborn, very like crimson red in color, that has a gold filigreed C emblazoned on his metallic armor on his chest piece here. Noticing this after this illusion is dispelled, he also takes particular note of these 4 cannons that this ship is equipped with. And that is where we went ahead and paused our session as we're at the end of our session time to pick up next week. So guys, that is my recap for you. Is there anything that I missed there that anybody would like to add?
You hit it all.
All right, that sounds good to me. All right, so it sounds like we got a good recap in place here. Everyone's caught up with where we were, and of course we'll go ahead and award inspiration to both Brandel and to Lexi for another entry into Brandel's journal. Yeah, Brandel, do you have something else to add?
Yeah, I think Mark and I noticed they were loading books in the crates specifically. I don't know if you mentioned that in the recap.
I did not, but yes, that is true. Good catch. So yes, one of the crates that you did spot did seem to have books in it. There are several crates here on the shore, and one of them that was actually opened is where you spotted these books. All right, good deal. So with that recap out of the way, let's go ahead and get you guys back over to the battle map and pick up where we left off. All right, so we got to get some more upbeat music here. Can't have this calm seashore for this deadly, deadly combat. All right, here we go. Go a little bit more classic with some old school battle music here. All right, so as we strike up this, we are going to be at the top of the round, but we've got some new participants in this combat, so let me go ahead and add them in. Okay, oh, look at that. All right, so as we move to the next round of combat, the emblazoned dragonborn at the front here with crimson red skin takes the lead in initiative. And he is actually going to look out towards Frederick here as Frederick is flying across this area, and with a wave of his hand, he is going to cast a spell. Frederick, you notice suddenly as your flight spell ends and you plummet down to the waters below, crashing into the water.
I'm going to try my best to do a perfect high dive and leave very little splash.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's see how that goes. Give me an acrobatics check. We'll see if you're able to pull this off. Very unlikely to suffer too much damage. You are going right into water, but it's a 50-foot fall. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty reasonable. So you kind of don't do this very impressive. Maybe it's a bit more of a belly smack that you were hoping for. Kind of make this big splash that shakes the rowboat nearby you here, but suffer no damage. So that's always good. And let's see, that is the first thing he's going to do. And then you're going to actually probably not hear much here, Frederick, as you're under the water as this is occurring. So yeah, I will go ahead and skip to the next turn, which is going to be Dell.
Okay, so seeing these scorpions here, they are still frightened by me. So I'm just going to step up and I am going to take a smack with my staff of striking.
All right, you step up to this giant scorpion swinging out your newly acquired staff of striking. Let's see it.
Actually, I'm going to go one more, so then the other one's within 10 feet and can't move as well.
Yes, that will indeed connect. All right, you smack hard with the staff right into the scorpion, and that is enough to shatter part of this carapace, and the giant scorpion is slain.
Then I'll step there and do the same thing to this other one.
All right, this one looking a bit more hardy. Haven't been struck yet. This attack will connect, though. All right, you bludgeon him in the side there, wounding him.
And then my spiritual weapon bonus action.
All right, that'll connect as well. And for quick clarification, no. So when you cast the fly spell and he dispels it, it dispels only the effect on you. It doesn't dispel the entire spell.
Okay, so I'm still concentrating on fly, but just not myself?
Correct.
Got it.
All right, so yeah, spiritual weapon will hit and damage the scorpion as well. Okay, next up is Leopold. And Leopold, remind me, were you in the air as well?
No, I was blinking, however.
Blinking, and that's what it was. Okay, yes, go ahead and continue with your turn.
I guess, Mike, I have a question. There was a wall that was making the boat invisible past it, so we don't really technically see the boat, or did that go away?
So this is a little bit difficult to pull off in a 2D environment, but the wall you're referring to was this log that's down here. It was intended to only be a line of sight blocker for anybody on the beach shore. If you're up here on top or you're flying, of course, you'd be able to see right over. So think of it mostly like a very large log, probably like around 6 feet high off of the ground, but it certainly wouldn't block your vision from all the way up here.
Okay, I mean, like the boat itself wasn't invisible at some point. I feel like that was...
It was covered by an illusion, which is why you did not see it previously.
Okay, got it. Yeah. We're gonna... Dell, you got that? And he's got...
Yeah!
Start moving over here. If I were to... say go right here, I should have a pretty good line of sight over the hit people.
I would say so, yeah, with your long range shot.
All right. So let's do that. We're gonna. I'm sure they're the most important person on there, but they're also the one that I can probably see the clearest. So we're gonna start with. Let's sharpshooter it. For the first one, anyway.
All right, you fire a bolt off, which does indeed connect, puncturing into this armored warrior.
Good. And I think he'll take another shot, again with the sharpshooter. Ugh.
Unfortunately, not connecting this time.
All right. And then he'll whistle to Silver to start making her way, and she's going to dash. So that's 40. Right there, 80 feet. And then he's going to end his turn and roll that d20. Is it above 11?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was 11 or above. You blink away.
Yep. So you don't, all of a sudden, Leo is not there anymore. That's it. Okay.
All right, next up is this giant scorpion who is still frightened. Cannot move closer to Dell here, but it's already right next to him, so it is going to go ahead and attack Dell. All right, so these attacks will, of course, be at disadvantage due to that frighten. So first comes the Sting. At disadvantage, Dell's AC is 18. That will miss. And then here comes a couple of claw attacks. And neither of those will connect as it tries to strike out, but it is very scared in doing so. It will end its turn, take a new save against the frightened effect, but will still remain frightened. All right, next up we have another one of these individuals on the boat, and he's got whole lots of fun stuff to play around with here, so let's see what he's going to do. Check how far away some individual targets are. Okay, so Silver is going to notice as this individual waves his hands on the ship, and firing forth from his hands are going to be 3 missiles which fly out this long distance away, striking into Silver and damaging her for... Alright, so that is going to be 12 points of damage as these 3 magical darts strike right into her. Next up, we have Lexi.
Alright. He's gonna move right there. For flanking. Murder, murder, murder.
Alright, she steps up, striking out at this giant scorpion, easily connects, slashing into the scorpion and severing part of its carapace.
Try and finish it off.
Second strike also manages to connect. Let's see, do you currently have Bless on? Is somebody concentrating on that?
I think that's dropped. I feel like it might
Okay, unfortunately, if that's the case, then that second attack is actually going to miss Lexi.
Oh, darn it. Alright. Standard grab.
Okay, next up is Brandel. And Brandel, remind me, what are you currently concentrating on?
Yes, my arcane eye should be over here somewhere, I think.
All right, so that is what you're concentrating on. Yes, it is down by the log.
What do I see from it?
You're going to see some water. You're going to see some laborers nearby. You're going to see... Yeah, that's about it.
So, I mean, I'm sensing a clear path. I don't see any enemies if I were to go this way-ish.
Well, remember the eye can only see exactly 30 feet. Anything after it is just gone. You just can't see anything. So you certainly can't see yourself through the eye or have any idea of what the path is between Brandel to the eye.
All right, I'm going to move. I think these guys got this little scorpion. 5, 10, 15... 20. Oh, that's a laborer there, huh? Okay. Is the laborer like panicked, like running, or drawing a sword, or?
From where you're standing now, it's a good distance away. You don't see any weapons on the laborer. It seems as though he's kind of hugging onto the crates.
All right, there's 20. To there. Action, I'm going to move my eye 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there.
Okay. All right, Frederick, currently underwater. I don't think Frederick's wearing any kind of heavy armor or anything here that we have to worry about him potentially getting pulled under. But what would he like to do, as he is probably a good 5-6 feet underwater at the moment?
As I was falling and approaching the ship, did I notice how many levels it had, Adam? Did it have like a lower level?
It does indeed, yes.
And did I happen to see any ladders or any way to get onto the ship?
Not from this side of the ship on a very quick glance as you were falling down 50 feet instantly.
But you said I'm currently underwater, correct?
You are, yep. You're a good 5 or 6 feet underwater.
Okay, so I'm going to push myself. How deep does it look, Adam?
Where you're at right now, it's probably 7 to 8 feet deep.
Okay, so while I'm underwater, I want to swim. You definitely got me thinking, Adam.
How often do you get to swim underwater in D&D? It doesn't happen much.
No, it doesn't. But that dude dispelling my fly makes me worry that he has like maybe a counter spell or dispel magic ability as well. So I don't want to. Don't want to incur any raft. Does it seem like if I swim out, it obviously gets deeper, correct?
It sure does, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then if I remember correctly for swimming, I don't have a swim speed, so it's half speed, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to go... Still underwater, I want to go about 15 feet forward, so it's a little bit deeper. What'd you say, maybe about...
You're probably in the 10 to 11 foot now.
Perfect. Okay, so while underwater, I'm going to reach into my little component pouch and I'm going to bite down on something that no one can see, and I'm going to cast this on myself, Adam. Using a sorcery point to cast it this way since I'm underwater.
Okay.
Perfect. And I'm going to turn myself into a giant octopus.
Okay, so as you cast the spell, which is concentration, that means your concentration on your fly spell will end, and Ranvan will fall the 30 feet. Okay, so Ranvan, you notice suddenly as you're up in the air, smile on your face, it's gone, and you start plummeting to the ground. And smack into the ground for 12 points of damage as you land there and are now prone, Ranvan. Okay, and so you cast this spell, you are concentrating on it, Frederick, and what form is it that you would like to take?
I'm going to go with giant octopus.
Giant octopus. All right, I will go ahead and get that set up for you.
Should be smarter than Frederick, maybe.
Shade being thrown.
No, it doesn't. It does beat my dex, though.
All right, so we'll get a giant octopus out here, and then we will go ahead and get you set up with access and all that fun stuff. So let's see. So after you cast this spell, I think you've already moved your decent amount. After changing into an octopus, you probably have a bit more speed because obviously it's got a nice swim speed here. What is your intent from here?
So I used my speed, and it's got 60 feet of swim speed, so what would that leave me with, like 25, Adam?
I think you'd have 30, right? Because you spent 15 swim, which would be 30 of your actual, and then you've got 60, so yeah, 30 left.
Okay, so put the octopus token here, and I want to go to the front, and I want to stay underwater, but I kind of want to attach myself to the front end of the ship here, Adam.
You'll get close, but you're not quite attached yet. You can certainly do that next turn if you wish to do so. But yeah, you're nearby the front of the ship as you see it bobbing up and down in the water.
Perfect, and I am still under. So, I want to use my ability called Ink Cloud.
So that will be an action, and you've already cast a spell.
Okay, no, I see. It says dash action as a bonus action. I was reading it wrong, but okay, perfect. That's my turn.
All right, good deal. Okay, next up we go to one of these other guys here, and he is going to do similar to the first guy, firing off 3 bolts over towards Silver. And she will suffer 6 points of damage as 3 magic arrows strike into her and deal force damage. All right, I don't think anybody can see this, so yeah, I don't think so. So we will move to Ranvon's turn.
Okay, having fallen to the ground, I am prone, so I will stand up for half my movement. I will cast a Sacred Flame on the scorpion. Man, I forgot the name of that animal for a second. You can edit that out, right, Adam?
All right, Sacred Flame on the scorpion. Oof, he's actually pretty quick, and he evades this.
I still believe that they can deal with it, so I'm going to start moving 15 feet this way.
All right, and you spent your 15 feet to stand up, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get that prone icon off you, and you are good to go. All right, top of the round. So you're all going to hear a sound of a horn suddenly blast out.
I was wondering where that guy was.
Yeah, and after that quick horn blast, we're going to see what fun stuff does he have for you guys. I think for now he is actually going to take a bit of a defensive position here, closer near the railing of the ship. As we move to Dell's turn.
All right, so Dell will hit with the staff. Actually, Dell's gonna hit it with his bonus action, spiritual weapon.
All right, so you call on that spiritual weapon to strike out. It does connect. Smacks into the scorpion hard. It looks like it is just barely on its feet now.
Okay, I guess I'll hit it with the staff of striking.
This unfortunately will not connect.
Alright, I'll hit it with my other one.
All right, second strike, much more on target. That does indeed connect, and I think that's going to do it. Go ahead and post damage. Indeed, yeah, so as you smack into that scorpion hard, you notice it rise its tail, swings in the air here as it falls to death.
Alright, then I will go 30 feet to right about there. That'll end my turn. Yeah, I can't bring my spiritual weapon, probably won't make it.
Nope, you've actually already used it to attack, so unfortunately you'll have to wait till next round to move it.
Yeah.
All right, Leopold, you will pop back in. Where would you like to pop back in at?
I'm going to pop back in 10 feet straight over here in the air, and then as I pop back into reality, the boots will kick in.
As you suddenly pop back in here, Leopold, you're going to notice from the northern cannoneer, he fires off a heavy cannon shot that shoots out and smacks right into the spot you just left, devastating this area.
Leopold looks back and goes, shit, and then is going to start zipping along. If I let's see, I don't want to go this way, but I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna move here. Still, I guess whatever this elevation is, back here by the wall that just got blown up. That's how high in the air he is.
All right, that'd be about 20 feet.
20 feet, and I guess since the cannoneer took a shot at me. Actually, which cannon fired?
This would be the north cannon.
Hoping that it's going to take them a minute to reload, I'm going to fire a crossbow bolt at the southern cannoneer man.
Sure, yeah. You line up a shot at this other cannoneer. Go ahead and take your shot.
Okay, let's sharpshooter it, because sure.
Yes, this attack will hit as it penetrates through, puncturing into his armor and wounding him.
Let's do another sharpshooter to him.
This one will also connect as it punctures on the other side. He is very grievously wounded.
Great. Okay, so I moved my 30. I'm gonna shout the silver. Keep moving, and silver. Let me just make sure she doesn't have. Okay.
Her own set of winged boots.
Right. Didn't I put that in my downtime? I'm just trying to think. I guess she probably follows the water and water breathing rules as normal, even though I don't think really breathes.
Yeah,
anyway.
I can't imagine her being able to drown or anything like that, but she might have a hard time swimming based on her weight.
Yeah, I figure so. But I think at this point it's probably safer for her in the water than out. So, oh shit, you're right. You know what? Let's do this actually. She's going to. There was the guy down on the south side that we're gonna have to deal with. So she's gonna dash. And maybe make it over here to have a little cover for the next time one of those jerks try to launch a couple of magic missiles at her. That's that. Yep. And here comes a d20 at the end of my turn. Zip.
All right, you blink back away once again.
It's a pretty nice spell, I have to say. Yep, that's my turn.
All right. Let's see. I think perhaps... yeah, I don't think any of you guys are really going to notice what's happening here as we move to Lexi's turn.
Okay, so Lexi would have seen this explosion where Leo just was. Like, how big was it? Where exactly was it?
Yeah, so what you would have spotted is a cannonball come in and basically smack right into this area here, and you just see like kind of a mini crater there as this cannonball hit it with such force that it dented the earth and just kind of ruptured it there.
And did it damage like 10 feet around it? Like,
No, it doesn't look like it caused structural damage to the cliffside or anything like that, but what you take away from this is, boy, if that cannon hits me, that's going to hurt.
Yeah. Okay. I think she's going to... Seeing that, I'm gonna move right there. And then dash. Right there. And and I think she'll just ready in action if any enemies come within striking distance.
Well, I think I just heard you say dash, right? So that would have been your action, so move and dash.
Oh, yeah. Never mind, I'm thinking rogue. Sorry.
No worries.
That's it.
All right, so as you end your turn, not suffering any damage or attacking anybody this round, that rage will go ahead and end. So I'll remove that icon from you as we move to Brandal's turn.
Okay. I got a question, Adam. It seems like we're swimming to the ship or something. Is that a thing in this camp? Like, how in D&D are we gonna board a ship from the water? It seems impossible to me. I've never tried it. Brian has never tried it.
Well, I mean, there's many ways. Obviously, the quickest way would be some kind of magic to pop yourself over there if you wanted some kind of frontal assault. Typically, if you don't consider magic, much what you're seeing this laborer do as he gets into a rowboat, heads out there, they would get up next to the ship, find the area where usually on top of the ship, they're going to throw over like a rope ladder and allow you to climb up kind of thing. So, yeah, usually it's rowboat out to bigger ship because they can't get that close to shore.
Okay, so it is. I'm just thinking if it's mechanically impossible to climb a ship in D&D. Okay, cool.
No, I mean, hey, in D&D, almost anything's possible. It all comes down to the dice, you know?
All right, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15 there. Can I move here, or am I on the side of a cliff?
That would be the side of the cliff, yes.
No, Randall's not gonna do that. Same with the square to the south.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, right there's 120 feet, right? Here comes a fireball.
Sure, yes, you cast a fireball, which singes over through the air,
Oh,
breaking...
it's 150 feet. Sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah, let me figure that. Oh, yeah. Go center mass, right in the dead center of the mainsail. I'm gonna drop it right there. Okay, I'll get the template. All right, I'm gonna upcast that. I'm gonna drop it level 4. Okay, here it comes.
All right, so as this fireball
Oh my
flies...
god, look at those rolls.
That might be one of the lowest damaging fireballs I've ever seen in my life. As the fireball flashes out and explodes here, you're going to notice, first of all, the main guy with the crimson red skin seems to be completely unaffected, as though he is immune to fire. The other two, so the spellcasters, here comes the first save. He will fail. Second guy will succeed, so first guy will suffer full. And second guy will suffer half. All right, then we move to the cannoneers. These guys are actually resistant to fire. First guy will fail, so he'll suffer half. The other one succeeds, so he will actually suffer 1/4. And is badly wounded.
Now, more importantly, does the ship look like it might have consequences of a fireball on it?
Not at all. And you're kind of surprised by this, as it looks like the ship is completely unaffected by these flames. Not even the cloth sails look like they are even scorched.
Alright, I'm going to say, the fireball didn't put the ship on fire. Sails are fine. It's magical. I'm going to move 5, 10, 15 to there. And I'll end my turn.
All right, we move to Octa Frederick.
So still being underwater, I'm going to move this way, and then I want to move to here, Adam.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you swim underwater, so you're about still that 10 feet underwater mark.
I just realized I wasn't holding down control while I was talking. Yep. So I'm going to use the remaining 10 feet of my movement to come up and crest the top of the water. The cannons themselves, Adam, do they poke out? Like, can I see them?
You can, yes.
Okay. I've got a reach of 15 feet. I want to see if I can smack one of the cannons.
Sure, yeah. Make an attack against the cannon. All right, let me go ahead and get you switched over to GM rolling on that.
my
Your tentacle is ineffective at damaging the cannon.
No worries. I will hang out here for now.
All right. So just to clarify, you have breached the surface of the water. You're on the surface.
Yeah, I don't think I have any more movement. I
All
think
right,
it's
fair
50
enough.
feet, right?
60-foot swim.
Okay, so I'll go back down to 10 feet then.
All right. So you are now 10 feet underwater.
And now it's my turn.
All right, we move to this guy's turn. Having just been blasted by a fireball, he didn't like that too much. He's going to cast a fireball of his own.
Well, I don't see if he can see us.
Oh, it doesn't even matter if he sees you based on the area of effect, though. So, knowing roughly where you went, he's actually going to aim it back this way. And as he casts it over here, it will indeed explode in this area and touch upon both Brandel and Lexi. I'll need dex saves from both of you.
I'm gonna inspiration that.
Okay. Unfortunately, failing that save, Brandel, you'll suffer full damage, and Lexi, you succeed, so you will suffer half. So, Brandel, you'll suffer 29. You then use a reaction to cast Absorb Elements. That will cut it down to 14. Lexi, you will suffer 17 as you succeeded on your save. All right, we move next to this guy who, yeah, again, nobody's really out here can see much that's close by, so I'm not going to describe what's occurring here or here. As we move to Ranvon.
Okay, I'm gonna move 30 feet this way. Then I'm gonna take real slow to go find this spell. Okay, I found it. Click this. I'm going to cast Aid, targeting myself, Leopold, and Dell.
I'm not there.
Right, Leopold's actually in a different dimension at the moment.
Oh, I must have missed that icon.
He blinked away.
I put a little question mark thing in there because there's no ethereal token.
Okay, alright. Instead of that, then, I'm going to use that level 3 to cast Cure. I'm just going to give that back to myself. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
All right, anything else on your turn, Ranvon?
That's it.
Okay, we'll move to the top of the next round. As we do so, cresting atop the hill is the Dracotar. And it is looking out, surveying its area here. It's got a few targets to choose from. Checking onto some distance. Ranvon, within reach of the long bow. You're going to notice as this large Dracotar with this very strange looking bow pulls back the bowstring on this, which is a crimson fiery wisp. And he then releases this, firing off a very large size scaly arrow towards you. This will fly through the air but does not connect. He then will quickly fire a second shot, this time as he does so, hoping to hit. But he does not. All right, we move to the next guy here, and he will step to the edge of the boat, looking down, noticing our octopus friend here down 10 feet down. He is going to cast a spell towards Octo Frederick. And Frederick, as the octopus, I will need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Light work.
All right, as he points out towards you, Frederick, you suddenly realize that you are somewhere totally different. It's weird here. It's a real small area. There's not a lot of space to move around, but the best it could be described is like a whole area of nothingness. There's like nothing around you, kind of all boring, no cool scenery. It's just, where are you? Next up is Dell.
Okay. I'm gonna go 20 feet to there. Should give me. I am going to. Where is it? Bonus action, Shield of Faith. Right, that gives me the. Yep. So then, boost my AC. Just finding the toggles here, and then I am going to. Where to go? Should be towards the top. I'm gonna chill touch this guy right here.
All right, you attempt to chill touch the Dracotar. Go ahead and post. Unfortunately, does not connect with the Dracotar.
Okay. So then I should have 10 more feet. So I'll go right there.
All right, making your way down that sandy dune. Leopold, you pop back in. Where do you appear?
We're going to go 10 feet further this way. Yep. And then...
well, actually, as you reappear here, coming out of this ethereal space, you notice the other cannoneer has corrected his aim, and suddenly, as soon as you reappear, boom, you hear this loud explosion as this cannonball flies right towards you. Okay. Leopold, cannonball smacks right nearby you. Be prepared for the big ouchie.
Does it do anything to those crates?
No, he's flying up in the air, so this is actually aiming way up into the air. So as this cannonball smacks into you, Leopold, it's going to deal 34 points of bludgeoning damage from a massive cannonball that strikes into you.
Which one fired that?
That would be the south one.
Mm-hmm. Retribution is coming. I wanna throw on that. I'm going to. Oh shit! I'm not gonna do that. Okay, firing a. Since it seemed to be rather wounded the last go around, I'm going to fire a regular shot at the southern cannonball guy.
Sure, yeah, this guy's sitting on this cannon getting ready to fire at you. Your bolt pierces right through him, and yes, this is enough as you see him collapse on the ship.
Yeah, Leo's going to say, ow! And then he's going to keep moving, getting ready to take his second attack. Actually,
all right, who would be your second target?
Since those cannoneers are pretty bad, I'm gonna fire off at them actually because that hurt a lot. Wait, no, because maybe that guy has a concentration. I guess. Who does Leo know that he cast a spell on the thing that Frederick turned into?
I would certainly say no, because A, you were in a different plane at the time. You wouldn't have even noticed that happening. But up to you as far as if you think Leopold, in popping back and quickly surveying the area, would notice anything amiss from a octopus that he wasn't sure was there, is no longer 10 feet below the water.
I think I unfortunately have to concentrate on the other cannoneer because they messed my shit up. Firing that sharpshooter.
All right, you fire off a second shot towards the other cannoneer. That will simply be a miss.
All right, it's a second
Yes.
Okay.
I remember these days, I tell you.
That's good. I'm going to. How tall are these boxes?
About 6 to 7 feet.
Are they just like regular crates, like not very much protection or cover at all?
I mean, you think they would be great protection from like an arrow, but not from a cannonball for sure.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna dive down and try and stick myself behind the log that is here.
That will work. Yep, that's about a 6-foot high log, as previously mentioned. So yeah, this looks much more sturdy and solid than the crates. This might be able to absorb a cannonball.
Well, it can't hurt. Silver, repair yourself. Silver is going to repair herself for her action. That's the second use of that today.
All right.
Jeez.
That's how you do it.
That was a hell of a roll on that one. And then that is the end of my turn, so D20. I'm still here.
You are indeed.
That's your turn.
All right, we move up to this guy here. And again, nobody really has good line of sight. Close enough to really get an idea of what he's doing here. So I will say Lexi's turn.
Okay. Move her right there.
All right, you stand on the top of this hill, Lexi, surveying all that is before you.
I need to do a little measuring. Okay, I am going to use my circlet of blasting, please.
All right, to cast Scorching Ray. And who would you like to target with that?
That one.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead. I don't know if we've got that built into your sheet or not, but go ahead and just throw me 3 d20s if not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe with Circlet of Blasting, it's just a flat bonus. Yes, a +5. So 3 of these flash out, striking in towards this guy. And yeah, go ahead and roll 6d6. All right, so as these 3 fiery rays reach out, striking into him, he certainly is hurt by this, but probably not as much as you'd expect.
Well, drat. Okay. I think that was all my movement, so I will end it there.
All right, we move to Brandal's turn.
Okay, Brendel, first thing he's going to do is use all his verbal components and materials and turn himself invisible.
All right, so your eye will then vanish, and you turn yourself invisible.
All right, there's half my movement. What's the likelihood of an old man climbing down these cliffs?
I mean, you could certainly climb down, but you might fall. So I would say if you climb slowly, meaning you're going to move at half pace, you think it's going to be not too difficult. But if you try to hurry it up, it will be pretty difficult.
Well, there's half my movement to get there, so I don't think I can slowly climb down. I'm just going to go 5, 10, 30. There's a total of 30 movement there.
All right, let's go ahead and throw that invisibility icon on you so we don't accidentally target you with special stuff.
Oh, thanks. Okay. I'm going to say, well, I'm not going to say it. Well, they can't hear me, right? I mean, who's around within... I'm going to tell Ranvan and maybe Leo, I see him. The red ones are immune to fire.
Okay.
Frederick, as Octopus Frederick, with not very good brain power, you start looking around this strange area, not sure what's really here. This is like very odd. You're kind of looking around again. It's all gray. You might be having a bit of an existential crisis here. Maybe that little Frederick voice in the back of your head's like, you know, I've banished people before. Is this really where they go? This sucks. And yeah, unfortunately, not much you can do. So yeah, unfortunately, not much that you can do while banished. So yes, we will go ahead and move on to the next turn. Okay, so this guy is going to survey the area here, and well, he's going to have to whip out some fun magic. All right, so you will notice as this Dragonborn on the ship begins to cast a spell. And Ranvan, you will notice as 3 magic darts flash out towards you, smacking into you for 9 points of damage. Those of you that have line of sight at the moment will notice this Dragonborn warrior grab a cannonball from the pile to the north of him and get prepped and start loading that cannon. As we move to Ranvan's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna run 30 feet and then cast another Cure Wounds on myself.
All right, you head up 30 feet and cast Cure Wounds.
That is the exact same roll with the exact same dice layer.
Hey, you're consistent.
I wish it was a little consistently higher.
All right, move up to the top of the next round with the Dracatar once again. And the Dracatar is going to fire a shot out at Ranvan. This arrow swings through the air but does not connect. He will then try that a second time. This one also does not connect as it just misses you here, Ranvan. Perhaps a bit wiser this time, you notice he steps back from the ledge. All right, we'll move to the top of the round, and I don't know that anybody will actually be able to hear this. Maybe you can hear a bit of barking and Draconic, probably not close enough to make out actual words. And that will be his turn as we move to Del.
You know, I do speak Draconic.
Yeah, but you're a good 100 or so feet away.
I do have a 19 perception. 20 perception, actually, I think. I didn't update that, did I? No, it's still 19. Never mind,
110 feet away. If it was like a 35 perception, I'd give it to you.
I had to try.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Del's turn.
So I'm gonna move to there, and there's no point in holding my spiritual weapon, so I'm just gonna dismiss it. It won't.
Okay.
It only moves 20 feet. It's kind of worthless right now. So I will prepare a chill touch for that Draco.
Sure. When you see the Dracator pop back up.
Yeah, if it pops back up, I'm gonna launch a chill touch at it.
Okay, Leopold.
Hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna... If I move right here, am I able to see things? I'm out of the cover.
I would say so, yep.
Okay, I'm gonna launch a... is the... I can still target my Cannoneer Draco Dragon guy?
You could, yeah, you could target the Cannoneer guy.
I was thinking the boat might be a little higher, but probably...
Well, you're a sharpshooter too, so even if I was going to give him cover, it wouldn't matter.
Right. Okay. And to that point, we're going to sharpshooter him with his first attack. Here it comes.
That will unfortunately not connect as that bolt punctures into the railing of the ship.
What a bummer. We're going to try again.
This one does manage to make it through and puncture into his chest.
Great. Okay, so that's, for the most part, him. He's going to move back, and then he's going to actually, let's see, that was 5, 10. Yeah, he's just going to go to the other side of this log. He's going to shout back to Silver, keep sneaking over that way. And Silver is going to run over here. She's going to take the dodge action.
Okay.
And end of my turn. So D20. Also, I think Blink lasts for a minute.
That is true.
Its way. I'm trying to remember how many rounds ago it started.
I feel like this is probably about the 6th round, I would guess.
Okay, that feels about right. We'll say it's 6, and I'll keep track from there. And
sounds good.
Anyway, he disappears.
All right, he vanishes. All right, those of you with line of sight will notice this guy motion with his hands, and suddenly a firebolt is going to blast out roughly in this area, just shy of hitting the laborers, but covering this area where he expects Leopold to be over here. It hits a big fireball and scorches the sand, but of course Leopold's not there, and no damage is dealt. You
hear a Nelson ha ha laugh from the ethereal plane.
All right, we move to Lexi.
Okay. If I scramble down these rocks, is it difficult terrain?
If you're climbing, it's actually going to be a climbing. It's going to take twice as much movement to get down, and it's going to require an athletics check to get down safely. If you're wanting to just jump down, you can get down pretty quick, but obviously you'll suffer some damage.
How high are they?
20 feet.
Yep. Lexi will probably jump down.
All right, Lexi jumps down. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. As you try to just clear this, it looks pretty easy to do so. Yeah, you managed to jump down, clearing this, spending 15 feet to get here, but you do smack into the ground. High enough athletics check that you're not going to fall prone, but you are going to suffer 2 points of damage.
Okay. So Lexi will start heading this way. And then dash. Adam, I assume this is like a giant rock here?
It is, yes.
Alright. I'll go right there and hide behind that rock. Like use it for cover.
Try to get some cover, sure.
Yep. And stay right there.
All right, Brandel.
Okay, Brendel's going to you can use half his movement difficult terrain to come down carefully on this thing to there.
Here, unfortunately, will still be climb because it's still kind of sheer here. If you're looking to just like the easy climb, you would want to head to your southwest before coming down.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm willing to be uncomfortable. I'm invisible. No one will see me fall. You know,
sure,
my
give me
integrity is still intact.
Let's find out. Let's hope you don't take damage and lose concentration because that would be awfully embarrassing.
Shoot,
but
that's
yeah,
right.
Give me an athletics check as you hump. Wow, I almost said hump. As you jump down to the sandy beach below you.
Oh, actually, can I forgot I'm concentrating. Can I not do that? Please?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Good call. That's a remit check. I didn't even ask for it. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ha! Alright, then I'm going to action dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. Okay, good call. That's much better.
All right, Frederick, unfortunately, still in that banish state. Not much he can do as we move up to the next individual in combat here. All right, and he is going to go ahead and wave his hands. And Ranvan, you're going to notice 3 fiery rays flash out towards you. As those rays flash out, the first one is going to connect, but the next 2 fly past you. Let's go with that one. Fly past you, do not connect. All right, that first one that connects will do 9 points of fire damage. All right, and you're going to notice Ranvan, I would say... yeah, no, I don't think Randall has line of sight over here. So Ranvan, past these crates. Yeah, I don't know that anybody has good line of sight to know what this guy's doing. But we will move to...
I've got my goggles.
They don't let you see through crates, though, do they?
How thin is the crate?
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be... you know, maybe you got a little... What I will say is you see him... He picks up this thing that almost looks like a big Q-tip, and it seems as though he's jamming it into the cannon. And it is your turn.
Okay, probably bad news. I'm going to... I'm just going to move and then dash. I gotta get off this beach. That's me.
All right, we move to the top of the round. The Dracotar once again comes to the edge where Del is ready with his chill touch. You can go ahead and make that attack, Del.
All right.
Oof, that is going to be a fumble, Del. Go ahead and roll that. All right, so you bite your tongue as you cast a spell, unable to use verbal components to cast spells until the end of your next turn. All right, so Dracotar, as he pops up to the edge here, noticing Ranvan getting a bit closer, he's going to fire off a couple of shots at Ranvan. Once again, both of these are going to miss, and he will step back from the ledge. All right, we move to the big guy over here on the boat. And Ranvan, you're going to notice he steps back to here and touches this other guy, and you see he kind of like gestures with his hand. Del's turn.
All right. Well, my turn order here. Let's see here. "30 feet gets me there. I guess I'll dash. There, and that's really all I got.
All right, move and a dash. Okay, that's the end of your next turn, so your tongue is no longer bitten, and you are able to cast spells with verbal components again. As we move to Leopold, who pops back in. Where?
I'm nervous, but I'll try this. I'm gonna pop in through the log and front of it right here. Waiting now for some cannonball to come flying out of somewhere.
No.
Okay. I don't know if I can tell from this far away how badly wounded does the cannoneer guy look.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty difficult to tell from this far away. You recall you yourself shot him, but you don't know, how close to death he is.
Okay, let's sharpshooter him and see what happens. Actually, one second. I just had a thought. Okay. Bonus action. What is it called? That spell, that thing. Branding Smite. Yes. Bonus action, Branding Smite. And then shooting the cannoneer guy with a sharpshooter crossbow. Bummer.
Unfortunately, does not connect.
We're gonna try again. Oh, that's terrible.
No, both of these shots just plunge right into the wood of the ship.
Okay, I'm going to the log being 5-6 feet in the air. I'll go up 5 feet, zip behind it, down 5 feet, so it's like 15 feet total. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, and then I guess just to try and keep them guessing, I'll go back to this section. Yeah. I already did my bonus action. Silver is stuck over there dodging. Here comes my d20. Still there.
Still there. Randvan, you will hear the sound of air compressing around you. Nobody has really good line of sight over here. Maybe Randvan, you kind of take a peek over in that direction and you spot this guy motioning with his hands as suddenly he teleports through the air to reappear here, bringing with him in his dimension door the big bad who pops here. And we move to Lexi's turn.
Lexi can't see squat, so she's going to try and move so she can. Okay. Alright. So Lexi will go rage. Actually, she'll run here. Go rage. And then also use her instinctive pounce, which will be another 20 feet. And hurl a javelin at that guy.
All right, so I believe you had your axe in hand, so you can drop your axe to the sandy shore here and grab a javelin and throw it out. And this was at the guy in the front?
The one with the clock on him. Yep.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Unfortunately, this will not connect. All right, as we move to Brandal's turn.
All right. Nice curveball here. Okay. I'm going to move. Let me do a measurement. Okay. I'm gonna. I want to hit that guy who's concentrating. We need our friend back in the fight, even if he is an octopus, right? Okay, I'm gonna invisibly. My invisibility will drop as I pull out my wand of magic missiles, and I will fire one charge at the guy with concentration on him on the beach there.
All right, the 3 missiles will strike into him, wounding him.
Come on.
And he will fail this save, and yes, Octo Frederick will suddenly pop back into the water.
invisibility drops. And I'm like, oh, my big old eyes. I see this guy. Wasn't me. Okay, I'm going to get cover. So 5, 10, 15 to there. I don't want to take a cannon blast. That actually might drop me. Okay, I'll end my turn.
All right, Frederick, back in the game. What do you do?
Okay, well, I'll use my 10 feet or 10 feet of my movement to crest the water again as octopus.
Okay.
And how tall is like the ship to the like main level, Adam?
To get up to the top deck, you're looking at about 20 feet from the top of the water to the top of the ship.
Okay, I will use my movement and a dash to, because he's only got 10 feet of movement outside of water, and I'm going to come, move Frederick for now. I'm going to bring him up the side of the ship here.
So unfortunately, even though you might think probably from seeing movies or cartoons that octopuses can stick to things, in D&D, unfortunately, I do not have a climb speed.
Fair enough. Okay. So let's retcon that then. So what Frederick will do is he will come up to 10 feet of the swim speed, crest the water, and drop a spell.
Okay.
Turning back into Fred. And he is going to cast this on himself, Adam.
Okay. Yeah, you action cast and are now concentrating on this. That'll certainly work.
And you guys see Frederick kind of, well, maybe Lexi and Ranvon, but Frederick kind of pops up out of the water and he puts his feet against the hull of the ship and he walks up the side of the ship vertically, and he's going to walk all the way up to here, so that would be his movement, I believe. Correct, Adam?
So yeah, yep, 10 as the octopus and 20 as Frederick, yep.
Perfect. Bonus action. Boom.
Unfortunately, already cast a spell, so won't be able to do that.
Yep, I knew that. Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Alright, next up is this guy. Noticing you getting up close to the cannoneer here, he doesn't like that. He's going to make his way over to here, getting up right next to you. And as he does, he is going to cast a spell out in your direction. As he casts this spell, you notice he puts his hands together and you start to see these blue crystals form in his hands, and he presses outward. You feel an intense cold your way. And I will need you to make a saving throw here. I believe this is going to be dexterity. No, I'm sorry. It's Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, I will, favored by the gods that.
Okay.
Let me read it. Yeah, it is saving throw. Alright, here it comes.
Unfortunately, that will not be enough to succeed on this save. So you will get blasted with intense cold, suffering 37 points of cold damage. Alright, and as he blasts us with you, you drop concentration on your spell, and you remain here. Alright, this guy, having spent the action to load and ready the cannon, is now ready to fire, and Lexi, he fires this cannonball at you. It does indeed connect. As this cannonball, you hear this loud explosion. Frederick, your ears kind of ring for a moment as this cannonball flies out towards Lexi, dealing 33. You are raging, so we'll cut that in half and say 16 points of bludgeoning damage as the cannonball hits you in the shoulder. Okay, Ranvon's turn.
Okay. The two things in front of me. This one is it's like it's a dragonborn, right? Or
It
looks
is
dragonborn?
indeed. He's wearing a metal plate of armor. I'll think of it almost like a breastplate, perhaps, and it has a filigree gold C on his chest.
Okay, and the guy behind him is what race?
Also a dragonborn.
Cool. I'm going to cast Dominate Person on the first guy.
All right, as you cast this spell, the guy behind you is going to attempt to counterspell this. So he will need to make a check against your 5th level spell. I believe that's what this is.
That's right.
5th level spell. Okay, so he's going to attempt to counterspell this, and he will have to make a caster level check. So here comes his charisma check. Not enough. So yes, your spell will go off. And who is it that you were targeting here?
This guy right here.
The main guy. All right, so this is going to be a wisdom save, I'm guessing. Wisdom, yes, wisdom saving throw. All right.
And it's a charm effect if he's immune to those.
He is not. So wisdom save. And your DC is 17. Unfortunately, this does not affect him.
Okay. I'm going to take a couple steps back as Lexi is getting closer, and I'll end my turn.
All right, we move back to the Dracotar, who is going to step up to the edge, see the fun stuff that's going on here, and we'll take a couple more shots at Ranvan. Ranvan, this shot, finally, he does manage to connect and hit you. You notice as the scaly arrow that's not necessarily made of wood, it's more of like a dragon scale perhaps, strikes into you for 16 points of piercing damage. He then will take a second shot. This one, however, misses. And of course, he is going to back up from that edge. All right, we move to the big guy. Noticing you having just cast this spell towards him, Ranvan, he is going to, let's see, can he reach you? Oh, he can reach you. All right. So he's going to move up towards you. As he does, you notice he brandishes this great sword. And in addition to brandishing this great sword, you see he flashes out with his hand, and suddenly the blade has this purplish aura that surrounds it as he swings out towards you. The first strike is going to miss. He will then follow it up with a second strike, which manages to connect. And I'm assuming you don't have any resistances, correct?
Nope.
All right, so I'm just going to stack all this damage together to make it a bit easier. All right, as he slashes out towards you, you are going to suffer a total of 28 points of damage from this strike.
Okay, still up, just barely.
All right, and next up is Dell.
Okay. So, 5, 10, interesting. So, 90 feet. One second, checking some things with sorcery points within the same range. So let's see what's my range. Okay. So can I spells level. Okay, so sorry here. So that is a second level. I have can I stack my my quicken spell and my twin spell together?
Some
If
of
I
the
have-
meta magics you can. I think it specifies if you can or not, though.
Okay.
Let me double
I mean,
check
if-
for you.
Yeah, because it would be burning all 4 of my sorcery points.
It says you can only use one meta magic option on a spell when you cast it unless otherwise noted. So it would have to say right in one of them that you can. So like, for example, Empowered says you can use it if you've already used it. Quicken does not, and neither does Twin, so unfortunately not.
Okay. So, I see Lexi there. Alright, I guess. Let's see. Alright. It's about 50 feet, and I've already moved, or 10, and I've already moved 10. What's his distance? Okay. So, I will move 20 more feet to get to there, and I will twin spell Tasha's Mind Whip on this guy and on this guy.
Tasha's Mind Whip. All right, go ahead and post that. Okay, yeah, so first guy will, here comes the saving throw for him. He will fail, so he will take that damage. And in addition to that, okay, so we'll have this effect on it. And then the big guy save. Let's check him. He is also going to fail, so he'll suffer this damage.
Alright. And Dello yell out, Ranvan, fall back! And movement. Don't believe I have a bonus action, so that will end my turn.
Okay, we'll move to Leopold.
He does some mental calculations. He knows the cannon fired, so he's got a while before that happens again. He knows something just happened to the Dragonborn that's fighting Ranvan. He also knows he's getting hit by a cannonball earlier, so he's going to pull out the tree sap. Try some of that. What was the...
All right, so you grab out that vial of tree sap from your side, that gift from the Fey creatures, and you down this tree sap. And yes, this is going to act as a superior healing potion. So I believe that was, I think it's what, 8d4 plus 8.
Not bad. I'll take it. Leo will say, that's pretty tasty. I'll have to talk to them about that. And then he'll say, Silver, do something. And let's see, Silver is going to, not this way. Well, yeah. Silver's going to dart out here. She's going to use her action to dash and basically get, not in between, but around Ranvan and other dragon. That's it for Leo. D20. That's it.
All right, this guy's turn. He is going to wave his hands and cast a spell.
I wish it wouldn't.
And once he does so, you notice a wall of fire burst forth from the sandy beach, what you're going to see is the flames are going to leap forward from that wall inwards in all of those angles. So as the flames leap forth here, see, when the wall appears, each creature within the area must make a dexterity saving throw. So I'll need Ranvon dex, I'll need Silver dex, and I'll need Lexi dex.
And okay.
Yep. So he chose action.
Okay.
Yeah. So he chose action. Yep. All right. So Ranvon will succeed, suffering half damage. So that will be 9 points of fire damage to Ranvon. Actually, yeah, you all succeeded. So let's see. Silver will take. So half of that will be, what's that, 13. And then Lexi also succeeded. So half of that will be 11 fire. All right, so this is now a wall of fire. You can see that the flames continue to rush forward this way. The guy, the big guy that's standing here seems to be completely unaffected by this fire damage. And yeah, you're dealing with this wall of flame. And I believe, let me just double check. The wall is opaque, so you're not going to be able to see through this wall. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in real quick.
Does he take 1d6 force damage because of Lexi's wild surge?
Can you go ahead and post that one again for me, Lexi? I got to read the exact text.
Yeah.
All right, good important note there. Ranvon does drop. Actually, I just scrolled back up. I think I found it. So it says, whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before your end. So unfortunately, this is not an attack roll, so no, this would not apply.
Okay.
All right, that is his turn. He used his action, which is all he can do because of the Mind Whip. But I believe now Mind Whip is over, so he's no longer affected. And we move to Lexi's turn.
All right. She will use her free action to recover the Fate Crescent that she dropped to the ground.
All right, interact with object to grab the Fate Crescent from the ground.
Run here. And smack this guy.
Oof.
Oh, can I use inspiration?
You can, yeah. Burn your inspiration to reroll that. All right, you slash out with the Fate Crescent towards this Dragonborn commander of some type, but it does not penetrate his plate armor.
Alright, I'll try it again.
The second strike does manage to get through and wound him.
Alright.
All right, Lexi, as you end your turn there with the fire of the wall of fire still reaching forth towards you, I'll need you to make another dexterity saving throw. All right, you managed to succeed on this, suffering only half. So that'll be 9 points of fire damage to Lexi. And we move to Brandle's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna come out here. Zoom in my browser. So let me ask you something, Adam. So this dynamic night lighting really is really good for realism. Is this the guy with the C on his chest?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, isn't that nice? Okay, from there, let's see. He moved 5 to there, just for dramatic effect. I'm just gonna move back. Here. Where was it? Where was I? No, yeah, I'll move here. It's enough movement, but so he can't see me, right? I just kind of peeked around the corner, and I mutter the name Cthulhudesh, and I'm gonna cast Psychic Lance at level 4, and I'm going to portent this as a 2.
All right, yeah, that will certainly work, as you believe you know his name, and sure enough, this is indeed Cthulhu, so this will reach out. He will then fail the save due to the portent, suffer some damage, and I believe this makes him incapacitated, so he can still move, but he will be incapacitated.
Yep, until the start of my next turn. Okay, action, movement. I think the cannons are gonna blow again. That should be all my movement. I'm done.
All right, Frederick, face to face with one of these guys on the ship. What do you do?
All right. I'm gonna look at the guy who's been casting the spells, and I'm gonna say, you know, that was pretty cool, man. I was in Avernus one time, and you know, I did this thing where I jumped on the back of a hell wasp. Have you ever done anything like that?
And you just see smoke kind of coming off of his mouth here a bit. All right, you cast the spell quickly, and where would you like to go?
I'm gonna go to the top of this little bridge area here, it looks like. And once I appear, I am going to move to here. And I am going to lay a barrage of Eldritch Blast into the Cannoneer.
All right, yes, go ahead and make your attacks. First one connects. Second one connects. Third one unfortunately misses.
Doke. I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get back to the edge of the boat.
All right. And yeah, this guy is going to head over your way. He is going to climb to the top of these stairs, looking over towards you, Frederick. He is going to cast a spell here. And he is going to cast Scorching Ray.
Shield to hit.
See, first one flashes out, does not connect, so you don't shield. Or actually, I don't think it connects. Let me double check. Oh, I lied. It does connect. Yes, your AC is 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you burn that shield. Your AC is now 19. That one will make it a miss. Second one, also a miss. Third one, this one will get through. As the Scorching Ray hits you for 6 points of fire damage. All right, this badly wounded guy is going to stand up away from the cannon. And he will move to here. And he is going to brace as he draws his halberd. We move to Ranvan, who is currently down on the ground. So, death save Ranvan.
I'm going to use my inspiration to just get advantage on it.
Okay. All right, and then, unfortunately, you're still there, so the fires will lick out. You automatically fail dex saves. Not going to be enough to kill you, but it will be one failed death save from the flames.
Is it not two?
No, because it's not a melee attack, so it's not considered an auto crit.
Okay.
All right, top of the round, and we move to the Dracotar's turn. And the Dracotar is going to pop out to here. Only really see Del at this point, so he's going to shoot Del. Critically hitting Del. Let's see what the result of that is. All right, this is going to be a true crit. All right, so that is going to strike into you, Del, for 16 points of pierce damage. Here comes the second one. Let's see, AC is 20 right now because of Shield of Faith, so I'll let you apply that damage just in case Shield of Faith drops. All right, it does not, and that will mean that this one misses thanks to your Shield of Faith.
All right.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Your AC is 20. I'm sorry, this
Yeah.
will hit. My bad. This is going to hit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that is going to be 18 points of pierce damage on that one. All right, move to this guy's turn. He's incapacitated. Could move if he wished to, but does not wish to. So we will move to Del's turn.
Del looks over at this guy and calls out, "I won't forget about you. We'll meet soon." And as he walks up to this guy, he's gonna go, you shouldn't have done that. And he's gonna staff a striking on this guy. Actually, I picked the wrong one. I wanted it to be on this one instead, so it's still 25.
Okay.
And staff of striking.
You strike out towards him, looking like you're going to hit, when you notice he raises his hands, and up is an arcane barrier which absorbs your strike.
Alright, I'm going to hit him again.
You smack out a second time, this time getting through the arcane barrier and damaging him.
Alright, I am going to 3 charges of striking and a first level divine smite.
Okay. All right, this strike gets through, bashing in through the arcane barrier, just destroying it as it smacks into him, hitting him hard, but he's still on his feet.
Okay. What do I have for... I am going to... I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points and Booming Blade.
Okay. Actually, let me throw a quick concentration check for him. And he does manage to succeed on that, so he is still concentrating on the wall of fire. You then spend points to Booming Blade as a bonus action. Go ahead.
And then... Alright, so... I don't have this built into my sheet right now, so I will hit with the Staff of Striking because I'm using it, so it should be the same attack modifier, right?
Yep.
So...
Unfortunately, does not get through the arcane barrier.
Alright.
All right, we move to Leopold's turn.
Okay, his etherealness will zip him out right here in front of the log. He brings his crossbow up, ready to fire a bolt at the cannoneer who was at the cannon, is not there anymore. Will track him further down the ship and is going to fire there instead.
All right, make your attacks at disadvantage as he is currently dodging.
What? Okay, that's fine. Well, this is going to be a regular attack in that case.
Okay. The first shot will indeed connect, wounding him.
Oh, come on, man. I'm going to do it again. Oh, wait, he gets... That is my branding smite, so he actually gets extra damage on there. I rolled it way high up.
It's okay. If it's got extra damage, it's not going to matter. He had 2 left. I think it was higher than 2. So, yeah, that's going to do the trick as he drops to the ground. Or drops to the deck, I should say.
I think Leo shoots him, and the bolt doesn't quite register killing him, so he's up for a few more seconds, and Leo's just about to shoot again, and then he falls over. Oh, all right. Then he'll fire his... this will be a sharpshooter crossbow attack at the other Dragonborn that is still up.
On the deck of the ship.
Yep.
All right.
Here comes. It's not a disadvantage.
Yeah, looks like it's going to connect, but he throws up an arcane barrier and is not struck.
Leo just rolls his eyes. And then he'll dart back up here. Kind of go in there. He's going to yell at Silver, how about Ranvon? And Silver looks like she's going to bite Ranvon, but instead she bites at the guy, the Dragonborn.
Okay.
I think it's advantage, correct?
No, he's incapacitated, but that doesn't give advantage. It just reduces his attacks, or reduces his actions, I should say. This is going to miss.
What a bummer. Shit, that kind of blows up that whole thing. Well, sorry, Randy. I was thinking Silver was going to manage to hit and heal you. Okay. So Silver's going to end her turn right there? Here? Out of the fire? That looks like out of the fire. Okay. D20 coming up. I am gone.
You are gone. All right, this guy's turn. He is going to wave his hands, and he is gone as you recognize the telltale signs of an invisibility spell. Lexi's turn.
Alright, Lexi's gonna use her action. Well, she'll grab Ranvon and try to drag him away.
Okay, so you action grapple Ranvon, and yeah, you can move half speed as you're pulling him away.
Oh, is that an action? Does that take an action?
It does indeed, to grapple a fallen ally.
Oh, then she won't use her action to do that. Apologize. She would like to administer a potion of greater healing.
Okay, sure, yeah. So brandishing in these flames, you dip down, grabbing the potion out. So again, dropping the Fate Crescent to the ground, you grab this potion from the side and you feed it to Ranvon. So that was greater healing. So Ranvon, I forget what that one is, but go ahead and look that up and roll whatever dice greater healing potion is and restore yourself that much. All right, so after you've administered this potion, Lexi, what else?
So she will... she'll just stay right there.
All right, as you end your turn there, Lexi, the flames still leaping out, scorching you. I'll need another dexterity save. This time you fail, even at advantage, being a barbarian, and suffer 17 points of fire damage. Okay, we move to Brandel's turn, and you notice that the big guy is no longer incapacitated.
Would I have gotten a attack of opportunity when he turned invisible if he walked away from me?
No, opportunity attacks are only if you can see them, so unless you have like blind sight or something like that, you would not.
Alright, just double check.
Yep, yeah, no worries. Brandel, your turn.
Okay. Wow. Just turned really quick. I see Cthulhu there. I'm going to... man. Move there. Put my back a little more. Put my back against the rock and just mutter his name, concentrating, rubbing my temples. I say Cthulhu. I'm going to upcast this to level 5. Psychic Lance.
All right, here comes the save. Yes, once again, he seems to be affected as he takes some psychic damage and is once again incapacitated.
Okay, man, I wish I could do more.
What, taking the main guy out of the battle 2 rounds in a row is not enough for you?
No, Ranvon's down by a wall of fire.
All right, Frederick, your turn.
Okay. After seeing that other guy drop from the bolt to the back of the neck by Leopold, Frederick will tighten that snakeskin glove back on his hand, and he'll point towards that creature, and you see this hand kind of appear beside him, and he's going to kind of slash quickly to the side, and he's going to use Bigby's hand, and he's going to do the...
As you cast Bigby's hand, he is going to attempt to counterspell you. So so he is going to make a caster level check against your level 5 spell. And he fails to do so. Yeah, so which version of Bigby's hand would you like to do?
All right, so I'm going to do the forceful hand one.
All right, I think I've actually got a spell template for this now. It's just going to be a little hand there. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, actually, I didn't grant you guys access to this yet. Let me do that real quick. And then you guys will be able to just grab that one and throw it on screen. All right, there, you should see it now.
Cool, thank you. I'm going to make it appear here beside him, and I'm going to do forceful hand to the never eat soggy waffles west.
All right, forceful hand. Attempt to push a creature within 5 feet of the direction. All right, so make a check with the hand strength contested by the athletics of the target. All right, so you're going to make a strength as the hand. Looks like it adds 8, so go ahead and make an athletics check for that.
And then I'm assuming these guys are medium or smaller.
Yes, they are medium.
So I believe I have advantage on my check.
You do, yes.
So I'll send 2 d20s your way.
All right. Okay, yes, you do indeed manage to push him, as that will beat his total. And let's see, it says you can push him
30 total feet.
30 feet. Okay, so he is going to get shunted back off the boat and into the water. 5 more feet. All right, yeah, so he gets shunted off the ship, lands into the water, and splashes down there. Now, I don't know, does the hand move with it, does it say?
Yeah, it says at the end.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, yep, there you go. I didn't even notice that part, but yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so sure.
I'm going to lean over the balcony here and say, take that! You swamp dweller. And I'm going to walk down to this cannon here, and, it doesn't look loaded, does it, Adam?
No, it looks like there's a cannonball on it, but not being particularly familiar with this, you're not sure the exact steps. You could certainly try, but you don't know how successful you're going to be to get this ready to go.
Yeah, I only got a bonus action, so if I can use any of my bonus action to attempt to, like, set it up, I would do that. But if that's not part of the thing, then I'll use my action next turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is multiple actions to get it ready to shoot. So, yes, the next round you can certainly use an action to get it further along in the process.
Cool. In my turn for now.
All right, and we move to the guy in the water. And let's see, what's he going to do for fun?
Probably morph into a killer whale.
He doesn't have that one. But what he does have is he is going to cast a spell and reappear up here. And then we'll move to Ranvon's turn, who's currently prone on the ground.
Okay, I am going to hit myself with heal. Heal
All
70
right.
HP.
Nice, yeah. So you channel this massive heal through your own body. That will restore this. Just checking. Oh, no, that one does not get rid of exhaustion. So you'll still have that 1 level exhaustion, but yeah, healed quite a bit.
Okay, can I tell what the... I mean, obviously, we're getting hit by it. Can I tell what the radius for getting hit by this wall of fire is?
It seems like the flames leap 10 feet away. So wherever you see the wall inward, figure 10 feet in from the wall is getting hit by the flames.
If I step to... Wait, I don't know.
You think you'd be fine if you step there, yeah.
Oh, that's not far at all. Okay, well, I will step right here then.
Okay.
That is my action, though, so I think I might be done. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna do this. Harness divine power to turn one of my channel divinities into a spell slot.
All right, that'll work.
And that's my turn.
All right, top of the round, we're going to notice this guy growling at the edge, looking like he's about to do something really cool. When we come back from break, 15-minute break, guys, we'll meet on the other side. All right, everybody, we are back from break. Let's go ahead and turn on some different battle music, just to give ourselves a little bit of variety here. Okay, and we are at the top of the round with this Dracotar. So, Del, you're going to watch, maybe in surprise, depending on what you thought this guy was going to do, as he drops his bow, climbs down the side of this cliff very effortlessly, and then charges forth towards you. As he does so, he is going to engage his charge ability, and he is going to attempt to first bite you. Let's see, your AC is currently 20. This is going to connect. Alright, as these jaws smack into you, you're going to suffer 17 total points of damage. You don't have any resistances to fire, do you?
No resistances to fire.
Alright, so part of that damage is fire, but it won't matter too much. But yes, as this bite strikes into you, part piercing, part flames. Then in addition to that, because he engaged his charge ability, when he hits you with the bite attack, is going to deal some extra charge damage, which would be 11 more points of damage. Then he's going to follow that up with a couple of claw attacks.
Okay, so what was that total?
Altogether, that would be 28 points of damage. He then tries a claw, but misses. Second claw also misses. Alright, we move to this guy's turn. He is currently incapacitated. He's not liking Brandel too much, so he is actually going to move 5, 10, and actually no, he's not going to move that way. He's going to move.
Never saw me.
5, 10. Well, you hit him with a spell. He knows you're over there. Lexi, you can certainly make an attack of opportunity here if you wish.
Yes, sir.
That unfortunately will miss. Then he'll move 5 feet to here. And Randon, he'll step out of your reach as well. You can make an opportunity attack, but it will have cover. And yes, that unfortunately will miss as well. And he will move down to here. Alright, next up we have Del. Wow, okay, this battle music is way lower tempo than I thought it was going to be. We're going to switch that up.
Okay, so I will hit him with my Strapha striking first.
Him being the Dracatar, right? The one you're right next to?
Yeah, the Dracatar.
Alright, you line up a strike against the Dracatar. Yes, that will definitely connect.
Okay, I'm going to pump 3 charges of striking and a 4th level smite, which should max out the die, right?
Yes, he's not undead or whatnot, so yes.
Sorry, my Discord keeps covering up my my clicks. All right, there we go.
All right, that will strike into him, a very solid blow, nearly knocking him off his feet, wounding him significantly.
Let's strike him again.
All right, you make your second attack. But this one, unfortunately, will miss.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to use my Misty Step. So I'm going to use Misty Step from Fey Touched.
Okay.
And go to there. And then fall back to there using my movement, and that should end my turn.
Okay, that'll do it. Yeah, we move to Leopold.
And yell out, "Get ready! The Dracolich is coming!"
Oh, another new enemy, a Dracolich. You guys are in big trouble.
No.
Track a lich.
I was gonna say,
For campaign that I run on Mondays.
Retcon that. Retcon that.
He's like, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Leo reappears, looks around, Dracolich. He is going to reappear 10 feet over here. He's going to, I guess, it's funny, every time he reappears and like everyone's in a different position than they were when he went in, but he's going to launch 2 sharpshooter crossbow bolts at the Dragonborn that is on the ship. Here they come.
You don't have disadvantage, right?
No, I think I just forgot to unclick it.
No worries. All right, first one will connect, wounding him, but the second one will miss.
Damn it. Okay. It's going to move back here. Yeah. This guy down here is invisible now?
He is, yes.
I don't suppose that's another concentration spell he's on.
As
Or is that an
opposed to...
ability? Like a...
No, that is a very good call. So yes, Wall of Fire is gone.
Yeah. It just occurred to me as I was getting ready to try and figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, no worries. I totally missed that one.
Yeah, I did too, because that would have changed my movement probably, but I'm good where I'm at.
Got to get Matt on those faster, man. He's got to figure these issues that I miss out quicker.
Gotta use that intelligence bonus.
Yeah, I flash of genius to myself.
In real life, man.
Yes.
Well, he wasn't here, so I can forgive him.
Yeah, exactly. So, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. Leo just yells out, Silver, do something. And then Silver's going to move down here. He's going to try and attack this SOB. As I get the sheet up. Here it comes. Oh my god.
That is going to be the Great Fumbleia. Let's see what it is.
I guess it's just a melee weapon, even though it's force damage, right?
Yes. All right. Advantage on their first attack against Silver.
Great. I guess she's gonna stay there. And this is my last blink.
All right, last blink.
Nope, the spell fades. I guess, I never really narrated it, but when he initially cast his spell, he'd like turn some dial on his belt, and every time he would get whisked away, you'd see this like little lightning pop around him, and then he would disappear. And so finally, at the end of his spell, the lightning just goes, and he's like, oh, well, all right, we'll fix that later. And that's his turn.
All right, from the invisible position, he is going to cast an upcast fireball, and he is going to drop it like it's hot.
You got a beatbox after Adam.
I was waiting for the groans. That was a pretty bad pun, but all right. So
I liked it.
as the fireball explodes here, upcast fireball, I will need Dell and let's see, Ranvan and Lexi and Silver to all make saving throws, and these will be Dex.
I'm gonna use that, Adam.
Okay. All right, so let's see. So we'll start with Dell. So Dell, actually, the first person that rolled, that's how we determine whether or not it's a crit or a fail or whatever. So the first person that rolled was Leopold for Silver. So it's just no fumble here. So Silver will succeed. I'll just go in that order. So this is going to be 14 fire damage to Silver. And then the next up will be... so the next up was Lexi. And Lexi failed, but then Ranvan used his...
I can't actually. I already spent my reaction.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so Lexi, this will be full damage. It's going to be 31 points of fire damage to Lexi. And then next up is Del, who also failed. And it'll be 34 points of damage to Del. Then Ranvan succeeded, suffering half this damage. So Ranvan, you'll suffer 17. And the big guy is immune to fire.
Is he still invisible?
He is not.
Okay.
And I'd like to use unstable backlash. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you burn your reaction and go ahead and roll. Or actually, you know what? When the guy walked away, you took an opportunity attack against him, so you won't have that, which you are so lucky because you just effed up your teammates again. All right, you're lucky I said that just before, so that does not count. All right, let me get this. He is no longer concentrated on invisibility. That is over. Okay, and it is now Lexi's turn. So you get your reaction back now, Lexi, and it is your turn.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll go down here. Try to get my murder on.
Yes, you step to this area, slash out. You do indeed connect against him, wounding him.
Try it again.
Second attack will also connect, wounding him again.
Oh, come on, dude. That's it.
All right, Brandel's turn.
Okay. He still's got his back against the rock, and he's rubbing his temples, and he says, Cthulhu-Dash, and he's gonna cast Psychic Lance again at the 5th level.
Yes, once again, he will fail this save, suffering some psychic damage and incapacitated for a 3rd round in a row.
In my turn. In my mind, I'm just like, just kill him, just kill him.
Okay, next up is Frederick.
I look over my shoulder real quickly at the guy who landed at the end and come on, you have got to be kidding me. And I'm gonna take my hand and swipe it towards him again. So I'll bring the hand first. Right here. And then I'm going to use the forceful hand again to try to knock him off the boat, Adam.
Okay, so let's see. So use your bonus action on your subsequent turn to move the hand up to 60 feet and do one of the following effects. Okay, so you're making a strength check at advantage against his check. Yeah, this will certainly work as he is shoved off map technically, but I'm just going to put him here for ease.
Cool. Then I'll turn my attention back towards where I just saw that massive fireball hit my friends, and I'll say, oh, I've got that too, you know. And I'm going to point at the guy who is in the back trying to squirm away. And I'm going to upcast this at... And let me pull the template up.
Yeah, you're good. He's the only one really in the area, so yep, no worries there. All right, here comes the save. Oof, fumble for you, Frederick.
Can I hit both of them, man? Oh, wait, you said I fumbled. Never mind.
You did. I mean, the fumble may not stop you, but sure, yeah, you could put it there. The other guy's immune to fire, so you could totally put it there. All right, so you are embarrassed, meaning the spell does not go off. It has no effect.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, we are going to move up to this guy's turn. And yeah, he's going to cast another spell.
Is he tired of that, though?
Not really. I've noticed the spellcasters, they really like doing that.
Wouldn't you rather take his boat for a spin?
All
Nice
right.
day like today, that's what I'd be doing.
He's going to cast a spell and Dimension Door. After Dimension Dooring, he's going to move a bit more to get to here. And then we move to Ranvon's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna get out my ruler and measure the things I just measured to make sure they still line up. Alright, I'm gonna cast Aid. A level 5, targeting Dell, Silver, and Lexi. Let me post that publicly.
How many is that? Like 20? It's 25 hit points.
I didn't hear. What level did you cast it at?
Aid's a level 2 spell, and then casting it at level 5.
Oh, 20 hit points.
Yep, 20 sounds right.
After that, I'm going to move here and lament that I don't have a bonus action to hit this guy with.
And on top of that lamenting, do you end your turn?
I do.
All right, so on top of that lamenting, this guy is going to move to here and usher forth a cone of fire breath. I will need Silver, Ranvon, and Lexi to all make dexterity saving throws.
I clicked the wrong. Oops. Hold on. Add 6 to that. My first roll.
All right. Unfortunately, that will still be a failure. Failure for Lexi. Failure for Ranvon. Okay, Ranvon, whose damage are you absorbing?
Lexi's.
Okay, so Silver will take full. So that'll be 32 points of damage to Silver. And then next will be Ranvon. Here's your own damage. That'll be 23 points of damage. And then here comes the damage you absorbed from Lexi. That'll be 24 points of damage. And the guy in the middle is not hurt. Okay, guy in the middle's turn. And let's see, he can't take actions or reactions. So I think he is going to just stay there as we move to Dell's turn.
Alright, sorry, I had to wash my hands. I had bacon grease all over them.
Wash your hands of this game.
Yeah, no. Alright, so... Oh, perfect. Gonna staff a striking this guy in the middle.
All right, you step
sorry,
up to the
never
flank
mind.
spot. Some other choice? Bacon grease doesn't make it where you can't hit your key to talk, is it?
Yeah, I was hitting the wrong one.
All right.
Sorry, I had to stand up, so that's half my movement.
Okay, yeah. So your stand up spend half your movement.
Gonna get to there, and where is it? I am going to find my spells here. I am going to Tasha's Mind Whip. This guy right here, the Draco guy.
All right, Dracotar, Tasha's Mind Whip. Go ahead and post that. Okay, intelligence save. Yeah, he's certainly going to be affected by this, so he's going to suffer some psychic damage. And this is the one where he can only choose one of the things. Okay, yep.
Yep. And that's my turn.
All right, move to Leopold.
Okay, Leo. Steps over here, realizes again everything has changed, even though he didn't disappear this time. We'll see several people over this way. Okay, that was 5, 10. He's gonna start heading this way. It's 25 feet. He's gonna take a pot shot at Cthulhu regular. Hope that is enough.
All right, you fire at Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That'll certainly connect. Go ahead and roll a crit.
As soon as I find it. Is there not a ranged attack anymore?
There should be, yeah. Oh, actually, piercing. You're doing piercing damage.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, here we go.
All right, so twice, so true crit and a minor injury. All right, so I'll take that full damage, and then you can roll on the minor injury chart. All right, yeah, so he has disadvantage on con saving throws until he completes a long rest as that bolt punctures into him, wounding him badly.
I guess we're going to shoot him again, which is unfortunate. No, he's not. I'm going to trust in Silver to actually manage to bite him this time, and I'm going to shoot this guy down here with a regular shot.
Okay. You would think this would hit him, but he conjures up an arcane barrier, and it does not.
You just hear Leo yelling, "Come on!"
Like, I hate wizards! Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, I do, though. Silver now is hopefully going to seal the deal on this, and she is going to try and attack with flanking. Wow.
That is not going to do the trick.
That... Oh, wait, that is unfortunate. Well, there's still Lexi to finish him off. So, that's the end of all of our turns.
Okay, this guy's turn, and he's definitely still got some slots in the tank. So, he is going to whip out a... Yeah, you guys are all stacked up real nice for him, so he's going to throw out a fireball. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be able to get all... Yeah, easily get all of you. Okay, so Dell, we'll start with you this time. Dex saving throw. Okay, that will succeed, so you'll suffer half. And it'll be 13 points of fire damage to Dell. Then next up, Silver.
Oops, hold on.
She will fail, suffering full. And that will turn Silver into a pile of molten slag. No, not exactly, but she is down. Ranvan.
She goes down.
Ranvan will also fail as he's still on public rolls. And he will suffer 35 points of fire damage, and that will drop Ranvan. Lexi. Lexi succeeds, suffering only half, so 17 points of fire damage to Lexi. Alright, after that spell, he's going to try to get a little bit of cover from all of your nasty arrows, or bolts, I should say. And we move to Lexi.
Alright, she's gonna try and murder this one once and for all. Obviously, this guy.
Alright, no longer have a flank because we don't have Silver on the other side, who is down. That's still going to hit, however, wounding Cthulhu seriously.
Ah! Okay.
This next one will do it, Lexi. How would you like to slay Cthulhu?
I'm gonna chop him in half.
Alright, the mighty Fate Crescent severs right through this breastplate, cutting through the metal, the bone, the scale, and everything. And he is going to collapse to the ground.
Guys! The big one's down, but you better get over here and heal these people.
I'm coming.
And then she's gonna move right here and start some smack talk at the big green meanie.
All right. All right. Brandel is up next.
Okay, Brando goes 5, 10. He's gonna look. Where's the other one?
On the hill!
On the hill.
I love Frederick yelling all the way from the ship, on the hill!
Okay, deal. Brando will say, well, then go get him then. I got this guy. And he's within range. Wall of Force, I'm going to dome the archer. Level 6.
All right, you burn your 6th level slot for this. Okay, so you're doing dome.
10-foot radius.
10-foot radius. Okay, and 10-foot radius, 5, 10. So you're obviously trying to make sure not to get Lexi.
Yeah.
Even if it intersects her, it'll push her.
Okay, so this is a dome, similar to what you saw with Liam's tiny hut. So your goal here is just to place it as on top of his head. So it's just like a teacup turned upside down, right?
Well, I mean, it's a radius, so I would like to place it like here, then, like that.
Yep, yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
So 10-foot
okay.
radius won't, so it's just, right. So upside down teacup, essentially just for descriptive purposes. Okay, that works. So yeah, there is a circular, hemispherical wall of force above him and separating him from Lexi.
It'll last 10 minutes. I'm going to hide behind a rock again. So funny.
All right, we move to Frederick, who's on the ship all by himself. Maybe we start the pirate adventure?
Yeah, he's definitely thinking about commandeering this. He's thinking about hats that match his robe. Let me move it back. Sorry. Let's see. Get my pointer. Alright, he's going to move his hand out into the water 60 feet, and then as he does, he's going to bring his right hand around, and you see him charging up that Metroid Samus looking bolt again, and he is going to fire off a guiding bolt at him, level 1, with a distance spell at the creature who's trying to run away up the hill. It keeps casting pesky spells.
Nice, distance spell. So go ahead and burn that sorcery point. Yeah, again, you notice as this flashes out, should strike him, he is going to burn a shield slot, and this will be obstructed. He is not struck.
Bastard. It's my turn.
All right, we move to this one. And let's see. Well, now that you guys have that one down, yeah, all right, he's going to come around. Here and then here. Oh, this is going to be interesting here. This is going to, let me grab a template here real quick.
It's always bad when the DM says it's going to be interesting.
It is. I'm not sure exactly who this is going to hit. Yeah, that's why it's going to be interesting.
Wouldn't this guy rather be boating?
Frederick's enjoying himself.
I'm biting my nails.
All right, let's see if I can make this work.
Well, that doesn't hit anything there.
Not yet.
Oh, you dropped it. It's like chess rules.
Yeah, your hand is off the piece. Oh, whoa.
All right, let me do a quick measure. Nope, it's even bigger. Wow, okay, so this is actually going to hit everyone. So, yeah.
Even though?
Yeah, so this is what we call a 60-foot cone. So, just checking the measurement one more time. So that's exactly 60 feet there. Yeah, so 60-foot cone. All right, so let me put this to back. All right, so again, we'll start with Dell, and this is a Constitution saving throw, Dell. Okay, so Dell, you will succeed on the save, suffering half the damage. Next up, Silver's already down, but she'll suffer the damage. I don't know if Silver even does death saves. Next up will be Ranvon. Ranvon, that'll be 1 auto death save. And Lexi, Constitution save from you. All right, you will succeed, suffering half this damage. Okay, so Dell succeed. Here's the half. So that'll be 15 points of cold damage to Dell. And 19 points of cold damage to Lexi. Here comes the Dracatar. He will... Actually, that's a con save. He might have that. He will succeed on that, suffering half. Alright, so he gets brushed with a... Oh, actually, no. It can't go through the wall of force, right? It blocks all spells?
Yes, yeah, he's protected, yep.
So, yeah, he won't even have to save. Okay.
Would that block Lexi?
I think Cone of Cold, let me double check. I think it says it wraps around corners. Does not say wraps around corners. Let me do a quick measure. You know,
you've deleted it.
I'm going to say that, Lexi, you don't take damage there based on where the wall would be, based on the 10-foot radius. I think you're maybe just barely protected. So we're going to say it does not hit you. All right.
Okay.
We move to Ranvon then, who just suffered 1 death save fail, and now is his turn, so he makes a death save. All right, and we don't announce what that will be as we move to the top of the next round. Brando, you can't see this, but you're probably not going to be happy as this guy burrows through the sand and pops out on the other side. However, being that he was hit by Tasha's Mind Whip, he can't. That's all he can do. So we move to Dell's turn. All right, Dell will roll his death save, and then we move to Leopold.
Oh my goodness. Okay, doing this. Moving.
Okay, so that is an action.
Bonus action. I'm going to use said Aura of Vitality. Is Dell down?
Dell is down. Ranvon is down.
Got it. I'm just trying to see who might... Looks like it's gonna be...
And Silver is down.
Yeah, we'll get her later. Okay, we're gonna use Aura of Vitality on Ranvon. For 9 healing.
Okay, Ranvon gets 9 HP back.
And I think that is all that I can do at this juncture.
Alright, this guy's going to step up to the edge of the ledge, and he's going to cast a spell. He is going to fire off some Scorching Rays at Leopold.
I'll absorb elements.
Alright, you burn your reaction to absorb elements on the first one, and I believe that's the, let's see, AC 16. That's the only one that'll hit. Okay, so you'll take 1 instead of 3 points of damage.
Wow.
Alright, and then we move to Lexi's turn.
Alright. Is this guy back up? What's his condition?
He is looking fine. There's a wall of force just below you that he just dug through the sand and popped up on the other side. So actually, let me go ahead and do a quick wall of force here, because this will be an impenetrable object. Just going to do a rough estimate. Looking something like that.
So what does that mean? Can I still hit him? Can I go?
Yeah.
Walk through it?
You can't move through the brown circle. That is like an impenetrable, invisible wall of force that is just nothing you can do to it. but he's outside of it. He dug underneath the sand and popped up on your side, so yeah, you can do whatever you want to him.
Alright. Try and get my murder on again.
Hey, it worked on Cthulhu. Oh no, roll the fumble. All right, you fall prone and your movement is reduced to 0. So you try to swing, slip on this really slippery sand, and collapse right into the sand that's all coarse and miserable.
Can I still try and hit him again?
All right, attacking from prone, this one will be at disadvantage.
Oh, why not?
This one manages to connect, though, as you swing out at his ankles, hitting him and wounding him.
Aha! And then, yeah, I have no movement. Boo.
Just quick FYI, that was his recharge roll from last round when he burrowed out. Brandal's turn.
Okay, I'll pop up 5.
I do believe I see you 5 feet short there, mister.
120, right? To that guy?
You're 1 square above him with that 120.
Oh, okay. I need 1 square closer. That's 20, so this would be 25.
And yes, you do not currently have line of sight to him, so if it's a spell that requires sight, you won't be able to target him.
Oh, yeah, the wall of force is there. Okay.
And remember, he's behind the cliff. He's backed away from that edge there, so he's up in elevation.
I thought I could see him, Adam. I thought this guy was something, but I can't see because of the wall of force, and he's up. All right, from there, don't have a lot of stuff. Okay, you're going to see Brandon's going to whip out his wand of magic missiles, and he's going to empty the charges. So it is no charges. So we'll have to see if it's going to be destroyed after I do this. But I'm going to put level 2 then, wand of magic missiles on. I'm thinking. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I gotta think this guy is. No, this is the spellcaster. That's not gonna really hit him, but okay, I'm gonna hit him there. Yep, I'm hitting this guy.
All right, how many charges are you spending?
2 charges, magic missile.
All right, you use your wand to cast magic missile.
Oh, wait, he's shielded.
The 2 missiles fly out, and he casts shield, absorbing them.
Damn it! Why did I think that?
I don't know. But you learn every battle, right?
Oh my god, I should have hit the green guy. Should I roll my d20 if my wand explodes?
Yeah, if you burnt the last charge, sure. I think, what is it, just on a roll of 1 or something?
Yeah, on a 1, yeah.
All right, you just, right now it's just a stick until the next dawn. All right, anything else on your turn here, Brandon?
I'm going to stay there because I want to see what's happening now. In my turn, maybe.
Okay, we move to Frederick.
Okie dokie. Frederick is going to move. He tries to shimmy around and see if he can get a good angle, but it doesn't look like he can see around the wall of force, so he'll just move back behind the cannon where he was. He'll send his...
So remember, the wall of force is actually invisible.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, he just runs back and forth on the deck, thinking out loud, what is he going to do? Then he stops real quick, and he says, alright, well, try to shield this. And he's going to actually, instead of firing at that guy, he's going to shoot at the green guy. He's going to do his Eldritch Blast, and he's going to distance spell his Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Let me burn distance spell first. Here we are. Alright, Eldritch Blast coming up.
First one connects. Second one connects. Third one connects. He is looking incredibly damaged.
It's action, bonus action.
All right, we move to this guy. And let's see, what does he still got in the tank? He is going to cast Firebolt on Leopold.
Okay.
But that will not connect as that Firebolt singes over your head. Move to Radvon.
Okay. I'd like to be able to heal you more than this, Del, but I really want to take my action to potentially kill this guy. So I'm just going to give you a healing word here.
Alright, so currently prone. You look over towards Del and cast that healing word. He gets back 7 HP.
Okay. Now I need to decide if I think it's better to try and hit this guy with a dex save or try and hit him with my mace. What's his armor look like if I look at him?
He is wearing no armor, but he does have crimson red scales.
Have I seen Lexi swing at him at all? Like, how's that been going?
Well, I mean, it's Lexi. Of course she's hitting him.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, I'm going to walk over and try and hit him.
So you stand up, spending half of your movement, which right now is only 15 feet because you have 2 levels of exhaustion, so that'll burn 5 feet. Stand up, spend the 5 feet. You have 5 feet left. You're there. Go ahead and make your attack. That will just hit, and that will slay the Dracotar as the mace smacks right into his face, and he collapses.
Oh. And then I have 5 feet of movement left, right?
You do, yes.
Just kind of limping, I take a step towards the closest mage. I say, "And you're next."
Oh my god.
All right, Del's turn.
Alright, so let's see here. My character sheet. Yeah. Alright, I am gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at 4th level.
All right, and that's on the guy next to the rock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Dissonant Whispers. Go ahead and post it. I think that's, what is that, a Charisma save or Wisdom save? I forget. Wisdom save, okay. He is going to succeed on this save, so he will suffer half the damage. But does not need to run in terror.
And I use my movement to stand up. And that's my turn.
Okay, next up is Leopold.
Okay, Leo is going to zip up 30 feet in the air and should have a line of sight on this guy.
Sure does, yep.
He's going to line up a shot at him. A regular attack first. Here it comes.
That bolt will hit, and he conjures up a shield, but still breaks through the shield and slays him.
Leo says, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then he turns his crossbow to the last remaining guy and tries to shoot him. We're going to go with sharpshooter because I think Leo's big galaxy brain realizes that this one might be out of spell slots. We'll see. Or we just miss.
Yes, unfortunately, that will strike that rock behind him.
Bonus action. Is everyone up? Yeah. Bonus action. Who's coming? God, everyone is so low in hit points right now. Who's next? Lexi. I'm gonna heal Lexi for 2d6. 6 healing, Lexi.
Thanks, Leo.
Don't worry, we'll get Silver up. Go get him.
All right, next up is Lexi.
Coming to get you, fire boy. Alright. Right there. Murder.
So actually, I believe you are prone, right, Lexi? So you're going to have to spend some movement to stand up. So that would be 20 feet, and you're not going to have enough to get there. Oh, look at that. That's really unfortunate, Lexi. I'll let you throw that on a javelin if you want to throw that at him as you're making your way over.
Okay.
All right. Throw a piercing crit. So you drop the fake crescent to the ground, whip that javelin through the air as it strikes out towards the guy.
Frederick yells from the boat, "Pin him to the rock!"
All right, so normal damage. So I'm going to deduct that. Okay, so that is going to wound him. He is then pierced as he begins to bleed. So I'm going to set you back to about there. Javelin does indeed strike him, wound him, and he's bleeding.
That's all I can do.
I think you are right. All right, Brandel.
Okay, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get my measure out. Okay, I'm sure there's a rock around here that's weighing 1 to 5 pounds. For
Certainly,
catapults.
yeah, absolutely is on the beach.
Okay, so
Use
60.
the coconut!
Yeah, maybe I'll use a coconut. So there's gotta be something within 60 feet I can pick up, yeah. And I get something here with catapult, and I'm just gonna launch it right this way towards him. I'm going to upcast that as level. Does it matter? Let me double check. Yeah. Oh, it could be even heavier. So yeah, it's just a coconut. So Brandel, it's just somatic. So he just he takes his hand like he's holding it, and he's gonna throw it and cast catapult. Level 2.
All right, go ahead and post that. Okay, dexterity saving throw. Yeah, he's unable to dodge this as the coconut flies through the air, smacks him right upside the head, crushing his skull against the rock behind him, and he is slain.
Nice.
Guys.
Coconut kill.
Coconut head.
3 hours and 12-minute battle, but you have come out victorious with the last of the enemies defeated. No other obvious enemies around. A couple laborers near the shore, and a pristine, shiny ship here that Frederick's enjoying.
Somebody's down though, right?
Silver.
I'll get her, don't worry. Everyone come near me. I'm gonna heal people for a bunch with the Aura of Vitality.
I'm good. Well, yeah. I guess it's everyone within range.
Not you.
Yeah, I'm good. Let me get out.
I can direct it, so.
I'm good, Leo. Unless we're up for another battle.
You never know.
Coming
I'll
from
add
the
these
water suddenly.
No.
A
add
dragon
these-
lich.
And send them to you. Hold on.
Frederick's on the boat just casting spell.
We'll make it a little easier this time and just have all three of you get the same amount. So 18 hit points to Rainbon, Lexi, and Del. And then when that's done, which I guess takes the rest of the minute that spell was up for, Leo will come over here and pull out his tools and start working on Silver. And mechanically speaking, he's going to expend a first level spell slot, and Silver, after a minute, will be fully healed and back up.
Okay.
Adam, while he gathers everybody on the beach to heal them up, I'm going to bring my hand back to me. And is there like a door or anything? Like on this
Yes.
backside?
So where you're standing right now, there's kind of like a little set of stairs to get up to the upper deck where you were at previously. You can think of there being like a door kind of close to where you are right now that would lead into it, you'd presume to be the captain's quarters. And then there is the more towards the front of the ship here. Well, actually you can't see that, but there's the this piece over here that it looks like you can kind of raise up and get down more towards like the hull.
Before the fist goes away, can I just punch through the door and bust into it?
Yeah, easily. Yep, shatters that door off its hinges and probably even breaks part of the wall there. But yes, you've gained access to the captain's quarters.
Nobody inside?
There is nobody inside, no. But you do notice a very luxurious establishment here, or maybe furnishings would be the more appropriate term. Looks like a very wealthy person probably made this their living space, the command and control of this ship. You can see that there is quite a bit of stuff just lavishly laying around. You can see a couple small treasure chests overflowing with gold. You can see long necklaces. You can see some gems. You can just see a whole lot of stuff hanging out here in various places.
Yeah, Frederick will, knowing that his friends, especially his inquisitive ones like Brandal and Leopold, are going to want to come on the boat and look, he's going to start collecting stuff, and he wants to try to find the good stuff before everybody else comes.
Okay, yeah, give me an investigation check to see if you can determine what the good stuff is, and also tell me what you think the good stuff is.
And in Frederick's mind, right now, he is... he's stripped of any of the magic items he once held, so he would want to look around to see if any specific items stand out, and then he also wants to find an eyeglass if it's available.
All right, yeah, go ahead and make that investigation check. Okay, so searching around here, there's several different types of gems without any kind of magic letting you know whether or not any of these gems is magical themselves. Hard to say if any of those might be magical. You do find a scroll case, kind of popping that open. It seems as though there is a rolled up scroll inside. You find one vial that looks very similar to a standard potion of healing based on how often you've seen that. You see a second scroll case, again popping that open, see another scroll inside. There is a hanging up kind of in a very prominent place, and it's kind of outlined in this like felt poster board, you can almost think of it as, is this very fancy looking rope. It's kind of tasseled with like gold string at the edges. It might be something important, hard to say, but the way it's displayed certainly gives it the impression that it's important, at least perhaps to the captain. And then lastly, you notice on a tiny pedestal is a wand.
Okay, yeah, I'll just walk around and start collecting that stuff, and then while I wait for everybody to come out and meet me at them, after I finish, I'll just start putting on different like necklaces and like Goonies at the end, you know. So once they find me,
Okay,
I'll just
gotcha.
be covered in gold and gems.
What if one of those necklaces is cursed? Man! Oh well.
I'll worry about it later.
Hey, state the obvious, Adam, before I ask Leopold to come help me search Cthulhu Dash. Are these guys, like, pissed themselves? Or what's going on?
They look like they're trying to be the smallest people you've ever seen. Like they are clinging to these boxes and just hoping beyond hope that somehow you don't even notice them there. Yeah. They're trying to avoid any kind of attention on them.
Devil's actually going to walk over there.
Perfect choice.
He's going to go right here, and he's going to use the helm to cast Detect Thoughts. So he gets the surface thoughts.
Surface thoughts you would get from the first laborer here. Looks to be a human, maybe in his middle years. Surface thoughts are probably something along the lines of, slavery's bad, but I really hope they don't kill us.
And what about the other guy? Because it's 30 feet. I can post it if you need me to.
Yeah, as you kind of look over towards this other guy, probably something similar, but maybe a little bit oddly, he's thinking, did I put 5 boxes on the ship or 6? I can't remember.
So I'm going to try and look at the first guy. So you were slavers as well?
Slavers? No, we're the slaves.
What are his surface thoughts? Are they still...
His surface thoughts now are, who the frick is this guy?
Okay.
And a little bit of, was that a coconut?
Yeah, it's probably good.
Why should I believe that you are slaves?
You see he looks down towards the boxes, looks up to you, looks down towards the boxes, looks up back towards you. Because we're the ones doing all the work.
What are they dressed like?
You can see they're wearing kind of like linen tabards or not good quality at all. It kind of looks like maybe, what you would expect. Maybe like even someone that doesn't have a home who lives in one of the main cities that kind of just scrapes a living by in the streets.
Okay. What is in these boxes? Open them up.
This one has books in it. There's a few other things here.
I'll yell it for Brandel. Brandel, come over here. Open all of these boxes.
Yes.
As
Leo and I are going to search Cthulhu Dash, and then I'll head over.
I'm going to tell these guys to open up all the boxes so that we can inspect the cargo.
Okay, yeah, you notice they snap to attention almost right away and start trying to do just that.
And I'm just going to have my staff of striking in hand, just kind of like ready to strike.
Okay, yeah, you get the impression that they are very terrified here, and they're like, as they're trying to open them, they're like kind of messing up, and every time they mess up, they just kind of jerk and look towards you to see if anything's coming, and then they go back to trying to open them again.
Take your time and open them up carefully.
Oh, yeah, sure. And you see he just wipes this huge thing of flop sweat right off of his brow.
Leo's gonna kind of pick up on this, and he'll nudge Ranvan and be like, Can you just go dial it down a little bit over there? I think it's a little tense. I don't think I think they're okay.
Okay, Randall, as you're checking out Cthulhu Dash here, you can see he had a great sword as a weapon. He is wearing plate armor that looks very good quality, articulated plate armor. As far as, sort of clothing, you don't see much in the way of clothing. He had, you could think of it almost as like a tunic underneath his plate armor, pretty basic. Not much in the way of pouches or anything like that. So other than the interesting C that is embossed right on his plate armor and the great sword, you don't... Oh, and he has a heavy crossbow actually slung at his back as well, and we'll say 20 bolts. Other than that, you don't see anything that really sticks out to you.
Yeah, I didn't see much of the battle. I was just throwing psychic lances. So I'm going to say, was he casting spells? I don't see a arcane focus or a component pouch.
God, was he?
There was a moment where his sword seemed to glow.
He might not have been that kind of spellcaster. He was doing things for sure, just not quite as higher level as some of the rest of you.
Oh, well, that's nice to say, Leo.
His sword's not magical?
I can't tell at the moment. I'm quite stressed from the battle. I lost 20 hit points.
Ranvan looks like super raggedy. Like, are you gonna be okay?
Hey, Ranvan, can you heal me? I'm gonna walk over here and pat you guys on the shoulder and say, great fight, guys. And I'm gonna move over here and I'll say thank you and all that. I'll head over here.
And when Brandel starts to get within 60 feet, I'm gonna make the connection to him. I'm gonna be like, they're doing what I'm asking, and I'm using my intimidation. Please do not ruin that.
Oh, well, of course. Hello, young chap. Let me see what's in these boxes.
Yeah, so you spend a bit of time as you see them opening these, and yeah, they're kind of moving about, scurrying, and trying to do this work as quick as they can, but obviously very much under pressure here. As they kind of pop open some of these boxes, you notice a lot of books here. You can see that many of them, and kind of like maybe thumbing through them, Brandon, or just kind of looking at titles based, based on the conversation that you had back at Candlekeep. You know that there was this whole situation where travelers on their way to Candlekeep are being assaulted, and this lines up with what you expect these books, their purpose to be. It seems very likely that they were, taking these from travelers, and the travelers' whole intent of these was to use them to gain entry to Candlekeep.
Well, Brando, remember that, because not everyone's an associate researcher at Candlekeep, so these would be good. Are we talking like dozens, or 10, or 100?
Looking through all these, it'll take you a little bit of time to tally them all up, but probably right about 30.
All right. Well, he knows this is an easy entrance into Candlekeep for his friends.
Well, you will recall, obviously knowing working there, that they are looking for unique books that don't already exist in Candlekeep. So you presume that probably some of these will work, but very unlikely that all of them will.
Okay. Well, it's just like Skyrim. You take all the books, right?
Right, there you go.
And while Brandel is like looking through these, I'm gonna ask these two: were these all of the slavers that were here on the beach now dead, or are there more somewhere?
No, I think this is all of them. I wasn't really counting them real well, though. I tried to keep my head down.
I'll look at the other one for an answer too while reading their surface thoughts.
And yeah, the surface thoughts of both of them are pretty much, I hope he believes me. And you see the other guy looks towards you and nods and says, yeah, I think this was all of them. I'm not going to count it. Oh my God.
I'm going to ask, what's your friend's name out there on the boat?
Oh, that's Vernon.
Vernon, come on, turn around, come pick us up. And I'll tell Ranvan and, whoever's there, hey guys, the great sword and the plate armor are very interesting. You might want to take those.
Leo is in process of taking the plate armor off.
Okay, yeah, so you spent some time stripping the plate armor off of Cthulhu Dash.
I'll help him do that.
Yep, and this will take a good 10 minutes or so, just based on how long, and how intricate the armor is, how it links together, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, you start kind of breaking it down off of him, removing piece by piece, and shimmying it off of his scaly body.
And then in Brandel's mind, he'll hear Delso tell him, we cannot forget about the bodies that are up on the hill behind us.
Oh, yes. Well, I trust you can get Vernon to come back and get us. You're doing quite well. In fact, I'm a little intimidated being around you. And I guess I'll head back at him and try to search those bodies that are up on the hill. Move back here and look around.
Okay, so Brandel, as you head back... Oh, which hill are you referring to? The one the one to the south.
This guy was here dead. This guy is here, and the little guy, the Dracatar.
Little guy? You mean the big guy?
Del was referencing the guys that were up here.
Right, that's what I figured. That's why I was trying to confirm which way he was heading.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, I'll start here. How about that? We'll circle up. It's going to take a while for sure. But
would Cole be within a mile? I presume.
I think that's fair. I think he's probably just a little bit off map, I was guessing.
So it's kind of like a familiar, right? So I can just call him and have him come down to the beach.
And he can communicate to you telepathically?
Yeah, within a mile.
Within a mile. So
it's part of the spell.
Okay, so as you're standing here and getting these guys to move perhaps a little bit faster, you hear suddenly Cole communicate in your head. I don't even know what voice you got for Cole, but something like, "There's a man approaching."
And Brandel, you'll hear in your mind, "There's a man approaching. Tell everyone to be ready."
Oh, it's our camping friend. Forgot all about him. Guys, we got company.
I'm going to cast Death Ward on myself and then on Lexi.
All right, yeah, go ahead and burn those slots.
At that news, I will not search the south area. I'll start walking up here.
All right, as you make your way closer up there, Frederick's still on the boat. For narrative purposes, I'm going to move you guys back to the map of the Sword Coast here. So you guys are currently at what I'm calling the Pirate Cove. As you can see, I've now marked this on the Faerun map. So I'm going to move you guys right there. Okay, so as you guys are making your way up to, or at least Brandel, you're kind of making your way more up towards the higher area where first fought these guys that broke through from the ground on the giant scorpions. The rest of you guys are trying to kind of collect your thoughts, knowing somebody is approaching here, and just kind of get prepared. Very much like you suspected, Brandel, you do indeed notice this man who is approaching off at a distance, and you recognize him. Actually, I don't know if you ever spotted him. Did you?
No.
No, you didn't. So I don't think you recognize him, but based on the thought that you had, you're kind of still probably having that same thought, like, hey, is this that guy?
Yeah, it makes they were all talking about it, and so.
Would I recognize him?
So would you like to head up on the hill like where Brandel was?
Yeah, I'll go with Brandon.
Okay, yeah. So as you head out that way towards Brandel, then yes, you would recognize him. This is the guy that was watching you, saw you sort of from a distance, and you see as he is approaching now and spots you guys maybe 60 feet away or so, he kind of just raises a hand hailing you.
I'll wave back.
Hail. Come on out.
And he does just that as he approaches. And as a reminder for everybody, actually, I don't think everybody saw this yet. I think it was just a couple of you. But as more of you will see him here shortly, I'll go ahead and show this to everybody. So you notice this very distinctive looking human, perhaps, or maybe some type of half-elf, hard to say from this distance. But looking at him, you can see he is dressed in fairly nice attire here and a very distinctive appearance, you might say. As he approaches with that hand out, he kind of gets to maybe the 20-foot mark or so before he stops. You can see he's got a bow slung on his back, and he kind of pulls it off and puts it into the ground and kind of leans on it and just looks towards you, and he says, here I thought I was going to ask for your assistance in solving the issue. Looks like you went ahead and took care of it without even my help.
Oh, so you're aware of the slave trade?
Yes, unfortunately I was. I first saw this group, very vile individuals, approaching here not too long ago. Most folks do not come in this area of the coast. It tends to be desolate and quiet.
Oh, and name's Brandel, and you are?
You notice he, it looks like he's getting ready to say, and then he stops and he says, you can call me Tristram.
Okay, fair enough. There's no need to stand so far away. We're a bit amped up from what you saw on the cove, but if you mean no harm, neither do I, or us, or Lexi.
Oh, this is Lexi. You see he turns and looks towards you, Lexi. You're not sure why, but it almost seems like maybe he recognizes you. It kind of seems a little bit strange. But as he approaches a little bit, he says, tell me, is it true that you are the group that actually survived Avernus?
Oh yeah, you heard my stories up in Waterdeep. You must drink a lot.
You notice he grins a little bit and he says, not exactly what you would consider drinking a lot, but yes, your reputation does indeed precede you.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad that my stories have reached as far as they have.
Indeed, this is quite fortuitous, I must say. This was always dangerous having these individuals around here. The fact that you were seemingly able to defeat all of them, I presume that is the case since you survived, as I do not suspect that they would have kept you alive had any of you failed.
Oh no, they're quite dead, and as I said, we're still in a bit of a rage down there. So give us a moment to calm our nerves a bit. But so Tristan, what's your plan? To spy on them and give information back? Is there like a group that you work for who's fighting against slave trade?
No, unfortunately I work alone, but this coast is my home. I do not like to see it being used for these purposes.
Oh, well, we all agree with that, for sure. Are you sure you don't want to come down and meet the rest of the group?
I would be happy to approach and meet the rest of your companions. Yes, let us approach.
Come on, let's go. Watch your step here. This is a tight little slope here. Use my cane, it helps me.
And you see he kind of looks towards you with a little bit of an eye and says, well, that's quite generous of you, but I'm sure I'll be fine. And as you guys all approach, getting sort of back down towards the beach, this is when the rest of you would spot this gentleman that is kind of walking side by side now with both Brandel and Lexi. And you'll see he kind of just surveys this area, looking over the beach, looking out towards the ship. Notices Frederick out there. The little rowboat now would be coming back with Vernon on it, and it has sort of just made the shore. Vernon, similar to the other laborers, kind of just shirks down and tries to stay out of the way of any kind of action or activity here. But yeah, you notice Tristram kind of looks towards all of you and nods slowly, and he says, yes, Quite interesting indeed. An interesting group I see that you have gathered here. Well, what can I say but very well done in taking care of this threat. I'm not sure I would have been able to do this myself. I was hoping to get to a measure of your moral compass. I wasn't sure what type of people you were, whether or not that they had hired you as additional workers or additional army or soldiers to facilitate these evil means that they were up to. But it seems as though my initial instinct was correct. I saw some type of burning fire of passion to right the wrongs in your eyes.
Well, you're absolutely right about that, Tristan. And sorry for the earlier evening. We're a bit suspicious. As you've rightfully said, we survived Avernus, and we did so with great suspicion. No offense. It's something we haven't shaken since we've come back to the real world. But over here is Leo, and that's Ranvon. And Leo's working on his little companion, and I just want to introduce you and let you guys talk.
And you notice he inclines his head towards you as his eyes lock with yours, Ranvon, and he says, "Well met."
It's nice to meet you. Any reason in particular you didn't feel the need to step out once the fighting started?
Unfortunately, I wasn't close enough. I just recently arrived nearby. My senses are good, but not that good.
Can I insight check that?
Sure, you can try. He is certainly not telling you the whole truth, but you're not sure exactly what the deception here is.
Gotcha. Well, it's a shame. We really could have used you. It was tough.
He inclines his head and says, "Yes, I wish we would have been able to strike an accord in one of our earlier meetings. I had hoped the campfire would be welcoming enough to allow you to approach without thinking there was any danger."
Yeah, sorry. We didn't know who you were, and hell was kind of bad for trusted people. So sorry that we.
Yes, of course. I could not be anything but understanding with a group that has survived such horrible, horrible encounters. But I certainly hope that you will have an opportunity to start trusting once again. Doing so with intelligence and not doing so easily that you could be taken in or fooled, of course. But you're obviously a very capable group, but everybody needs help at some points.
Just as he finishes that sentence, Frederick comes out on the bow of the ship and says, "Hey, you guys! There's a lot of stuff in here." And then he turns around and walks back in.
Oh, and that's Frederick over there.
You notice he nods his head once again. Yes, I see.
Was that cream you left like a hand moisturizer, or?
He smiles and turns towards Lexi and he says, "I've found that many women find the scent quite pleasant. Usually it is dabbed on the palms or at the neck."
Oh, well, that'll come in handy.
Can I insight check Lexi for blushing?
You can tell.
All right, Tristram, right? I think if you want to hang out for a while and talk to us, we're gonna be policing this scene, I guess, for a minute. And I suppose we just got ourselves a ship. Do you want to ride somewhere?
Captaining a ship is no easy feat. Do any of you have the skill or expertise in order to move the ship about and maintain all of the different issues that can pop up?
Have you ever
I
been
don't
to
think
hell?
so.
Have you ever been to Avernus? Because we have.
You see he turns and looks towards you, and you get this idea of almost like a measuring, like he's trying to gauge what your intent here is. Perhaps maybe he's inciting you, right? And then you see he nods slowly and says, "Yes, as I already mentioned, that is quite impressive."
We could do anything we want. If we say we're gonna ride that ship out of here, that's what we'll do.
I see.
Yeah. Leo will get on there later and he'll be like, "Okay, where do we put the soul coins?"
Yeah, specifically Ranvon will put Leo up there. Leo can drive anything.
not entirely true, but
He'll have that thing figured out in 10 minutes.
we'll probably be able to limp it back to Candlekeep.
Perhaps I could offer a different accord. Would you be willing to leave the ship and these individuals in my care?
Well, I mean, that's probably fine. I imagine everyone wants to have a little say in that, but I mean, to your point, we really don't know how to sail that ship. So, but you know, would you mind if we kind of take some of the things? I imagine most of it's been stolen, so I do. I'm wondering if maybe a cut can go to our now former slaves. He'll look at what was the one guy's name was like Vernon or something with the V. So maybe they'll have a little bit of pocket change wherever they end up.
You can leave that to me. Anything that you have recovered from the ship you can certainly take. I don't mean to separate you from any spoils. I simply mean the ship itself and these individuals. I can make sure that they are taken somewhere much safer for them and put good use to the ship in different endeavors other than slavery.
And I now insight check him to figure out if he's actually a reverse slaver who's going to enslave them.
Ooh, reverse slave. Okay, yeah, give me an insight check.
And I think regardless of whatever this roll is, I'm going to put a flash of genius on it too.
And remind me how much on top of that will that add?
That's a +5. And you know what? I'm going to inspire it again because I really want to know.
Does that mean like you're using inspiration to reroll?
Yes.
Okay.
God.
You're not quite sure. Obviously, what he's saying here, you get the impression that there's maybe a multi-layered or multifaceted approach that he has, but you can't tell if it's a re-slave or maybe just something more positive.
Is it a slave pyramid scheme? Maybe? Well,
it's a slave cryptocurrency.
oh man, slave coin.
Well,
Jinx.
Tristan, you seem pretty honest, and you saw how much effort, risked our lives here on the beach to free these slaves. And we don't really know you. Is there some way you could prove your intent? Do you work for an anti-slavery group, or who's in your charge? What's your intention for these bodies? Like I said, we almost died freeing them.
Is Dell with the group?
If he wishes to be, sure.
Okay. Yeah. And with Brandel saying with this, can I use a 3rd level to cast Zone of Truth on this guy?
Sure. So you're like motioning with your hands and things to cast the spell?
Yeah.
You'll notice he kind of turns and gives you this eyebrow, obviously knowing that how things work here in Faerun, like randomly just casting a spell at somebody without like saying anything or whatever is generally considered to be very rude, and he certainly does seem to be kind of put off by this. So he will try to succeed on this save. I gotta check modifiers.
Sorry, Tristan. My friends are a little, PTSD.
As you're kind of mentioning this, and I'm just double checking mods before I determine whether or not this failed or not. You see he looks towards you, and you get this impression sort of like he's annoyed, but he's not, he's not like getting ready to attack you or anything like that. Okay, so all right, so what you'll notice here, your spell save DC is 17. He will fail this, but then choose to succeed.
Dude, guys, he's in our fan club. Stop messing with him.
It was just a simple spell to understand whether or not he is telling us the full truth, Lexi.
Well, let's let him speak, guys. So please, you understand. We risked everything for this. We didn't know there was treasure on the boat. This was just an honest attempt to free slaves. That's it. And
absolutely, as why I said you can keep everything that was on the ship. I am not trying to take anything from you. In fact, I would be more than willing to compensate you for the ship as well. You did go to tremendous effort to save these individuals. My plan for them, as you asked this earlier, is there is an island off to the west that is known to be somewhat of a haven for the downtrodden, and I'm hoping to take them there and give them a second chance at life.
What's the name of this town? Maybe I've heard of it in my many studies.
To be honest, it does not have a name, but it is just east of Caer Westfall. It is a little, very low populated island that the downtrodden have found a way of coming to, and think of it mostly as, I've heard the term Isle of Misfits used in the past, but it is simply a small agrarian farming community.
Does that sound like anything I could remember or read about?
Give me a history check.
Can Leo do that too?
Sure. Yes, Brandel, you think you know exactly what he's talking about. You know, you always hear these stories about like when pets get old, they get taken up to farm, right? And it's something like that. Leopold, no, you've not heard of this before. If this thing exists, it's either, you know, maybe tiny or it's just a really well kept secret.
Sounds like they'll be a lot safer with you than they would with us.
I think I agree. I haven't heard of it specifically, but you know, it's damn dangerous here on the Sword Coast. So I think anything that will kind of get them away from that and give them a leg up works out well.
All of the world has some degree of danger, but I can tell you that this island will give them a good chance at a second chance, as I mentioned.
Oh, good. I think I feel like that sounds fine then. Tristram, we'll I guess finish cleaning up here and then help, I guess, get you all on your way. Is there anything else?
Take what it is that you wish from here and be on your way, and then I will see to the rest of the preparations necessary.
I will agree. Yeah, that sounds good. And I'm just gonna not obviously look if he's distracted talking to Leo. Is there any black network tattoos or anything or Zentarum emblems on his body? One, I don't want him to get super suspicious, but like I'm just gonna very carefully see if there's anything. I'm sorry.
Give me a perception check. Not that you can see, Brandel.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. Well, if it's good with Leo in the group, I'll just go over here and look at these books. Oh, you mentioned something about compensation for the ship?
If you would wish, yes, I'm certain I can arrange something.
Why don't we just see how much is on the boat? Because there might be a lot.
Yeah.
A compensation for the boat would be nice. It would go a long way with our pursuits.
Well, as a group of adventurers, I'm sure that there are things that you could use. Is there anything in particular? I have access to a small cache of potentially helpful goods.
Or your friendship.
For my friendship? Well, my friendship is not easily earned because friends are true friends, and when they are in need, I will always be there to assist them. But with that comes a great responsibility. So I would need to learn more about yourselves first before I could offer my friendship.
Well, perhaps as a start, we could trust you with the slaves and the boat.
I think that would be an excellent start, yes.
Come on, guys, let's go see what's on the boat.
Leo nods and we'll finish taking the armor off the guy, the great sword, any of the other little random things that the other Dragonborn have, and then, go over to the boat.
All right, so it sounds like you guys want to hop into the rowboat and then make your way over to the ship.
Yeah, and then we'll be back, Tristram. We're just going to check out the ship.
All right, yes, you'll notice that Tristram actually heads up and begins kind of talking to these laborers. That's all three of them are standing around in the boxes, and as you guys load into the rowboat and start slowly oaring your way out to this larger ship, you can notice him actually kind of reach out and pat almost reassuringly on their shoulders, and almost immediately you can notice a pretty significant boost in their morale. They certainly look like they're not afraid at all. They actually look kind of comfortable.
Did they finish their meal? Because I gave him some rations. before he
Yeah. Oh,
approached.
yeah. I saw that in chat. My bad. Yeah, certainly. If you hand that out, they're again really nervous to take anything from you, Del. They certainly seem quite terrified of your presence here. But after you sort of hand it to them, or maybe put it on the boxes and step back, you will see that they do indeed scarf this down pretty quick, kind of eating like this dried fruit or this hard tack, and kind of like eyeing you out of the side as they keep taking each bite.
Okay. I assume the rowboat, it can only take a couple people at a time.
It could probably fit 4, I would say, per shift.
So Dell will go and retrieve the other bodies up to the northwest.
Okay. Yep. So
and
the
just kind of put
and
them down on the beach with the rest of the bodies.
and I assume just the dragonborn bodies. You're not trying to drag the giant scorpions, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the scorpions where they are.
Okay, fair enough. So you've dragged, and this will probably take you a good 30 minutes or so, kind of go on
That's
dragging one. Yeah, so all right, okay. So,
Well, I have my horse too, right? So
okay, yeah, so Cole, he could certainly help you. I think is he relatively smart because of the spell?
yeah, I think he has his intelligence gets boosted. I posted it in the chat.
Okay, so yeah, as long as he's not like a 2 or something like that.
Intelligence becomes a 6, yeah.
So, yeah, okay, that's reasonable then with telepathic communication and all that. So yeah, you might even be able to make up some kind of makeshift. I don't know, something that you could like tie to him and he could drag. So yeah, we'll assume you can do
Use
that.
my rope.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, after say 30 minutes or so of doing that, and then a couple trips over, all of you will be on the larger vessel. So you can see these 4 cannons here that look pretty impressive, and those of you that were struck by them, particularly Leopold, know how deadly these can be. I kind of just a quick look at them, though. You can tell this is a very slow operation. It seems to take pretty much an action to clean and load, an action to aim it, and then another action to fire it. So, pretty much can only shoot every 3 rounds. But when it hits, obviously, it can be pretty significant damage-wise. As far as the goods that Frederick has gathered, Frederick, is there anything you're kind of holding back before the group gets here? Because it's been quite a bit of time.
I imagine I will not, after I went out there and yelled, I obviously noticed they were talking to somebody, so not wanting to be robbed of anything, he will take the rope and he'll stash that in his book bag, but he plans on giving the rest of the stuff out, so he'll wait until he sees everybody and hand things out.
Okay, sounds good. So that is a little bit up there. If you have your timestamps in chat turned on, that was right at the 9:20 mark when all of that is posted. So everything there except for rope is what would be sort of displayed before you in various piles and things as Frederick has, kind of gathered these things and sorted them and so forth.
Yeah, I'll point to the scroll cases for Brandol and say, there's, the inside there's 2 scrolls I found rolled up. I didn't get a chance to look at them. Oh, and then this wand here, it was sitting in a fancy stand. Oh, and Lexi, here, take this healing potion. I know you used your other one on the beach there. And then I'll like nudge Leo and be like, look at all of these jewels, man.
Leo instantly has his loop like slink out, and he's like got it in his eye, and he starts looking at all the diamonds and gems and everything. I'm not gonna make you give me like all of the values of all of that stuff right now.
I'll say just throw 2 checks, and we'll use that as like a generalization of how you do for the whole load.
Here we go.
Yeah, okay, so on a rough, as you kind of look at all of these, probably the most important notice is these are very well cut and buffed and set piece diamonds. You presume each of these is worth about 500 gold. Knowing some of what you know about how important diamonds can be to certain spells, this seems to be a particularly good find. All the rest of the gems together, cost-wise, you're guessing is going to be somewhere in the about 5,000 gold piece range.
Frederick's on it.
We have the bag of holding too.
Yeah,
We'll just put them all there.
that sounds good. I can move him over.
I'll just hold on to this wand and this scroll. Very, very well done.
Why don't you figure out what they are real quick, and then
Well, there's another compartment. I didn't feel comfortable going down there until I knew you all were here. And then also there is a literal ton of gold. I mean, it's everywhere. There's a lot of gold.
All right.
So perhaps we should start scooping that into the bag of holding as well.
All right, maybe Leo and I could look at the other chamber after we clear it, of course.
I don't know if there's anything in there. I just felt a little bit more safe if you all were here.
Well, now you know how I feel. I feel safe when all of you are around. I'm glad you made it, Frederick.
So did you put that down there? There's 2 scroll cases and 2 scrolls. You got that, yes?
Yeah, I got 2 scrolls, right, Adam?
There are 2 scrolls, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yep, and these cases are quite nice.
Yes, they are. They have a little strap and everything. And then, Lexi, you have your healing potion, yes?
Got it. Thank you.
I'll add the rest of the gems to the bag of holding. And I'll start scooping gold into the bag as well.
All right, remind me, how much can the bag of holding hold? Is it something like 500 pounds?
Let's look it up, Adam. It said...
It says
The
all the
bag-
gold.
the bag can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet.
Ooh, okay. So I don't know how much stuff you guys have in there, but all of this gold is going to probably be challenging. As you kind of just try to eyeball this, it is in the thousands of gold pieces.
Okay. I'll do an adequate amount, Adam. How about, let's say I'll try to get, I don't know, a quarter of it.
We're filling it.
Ranvon's looking at me and he's like, no, keep going. Keep going.
This
Yeah,
is
keep
where, yeah,
going.
this is where you like put all the coins in it and try to cut it from underneath, and it explodes out and kills everybody underneath it.
It's also got some cow traps in there, so that should be fun.
Right. I'm looking for gold. Ow!
Oh, there's also all of those scrolls that we found as well.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll say here is, I don't know exactly how much you have in the bag of holding, so I'm just kind of eyeballing this as far as what all is here. And I would say, let's say you can get half of the gold pieces in there, and now the bag of holding is like jam-packed, solidly full.
So I
How
posted
many?
it there
How
in
many
chat
is
for you.
half?
There would be 6,500 gold pieces in the bag.
3250.
No, 6,500 in the bag, and there's still another 6,500 in the captain's quarters.
We can't give them the boat. We have to take the boat. We have to take this boat to the city, and then sell the boat and take all the money. We're gonna buy Candlekeep. We're gonna make our own city.
Guys, it's
Ranvon.
okay. We're not in a capitalist society anymore in Faerun. We can let some of it go. It's
I
okay.
didn't know there were rare scrolls in there. I should have make sure I look at that when I get back. Remind me.
Yeah, there's 20 of them, dude.
My God.
There's a point of money where you become the awful capitalist, and this is it. This is Ranvon's money point.
It's finally happened.
You can fill your coin purse, Ranvon, and look, I'll fill my coin purse for you as well, okay?
Can Dell grab like a sack and fill it like with 50 pounds of coins?
Yeah, what I'll say here is, on your honor, feel free to take as much of this as you feel like you can carry. I believe it's 50 coins is a pound, so that should, and if you add that to your sheet, I think it'll automatically tally that. So, considering that there's the 6,500 gold pieces and then everything else that you guys have collected, as long as you're tracking all of the weight, you should be, you should tally appropriately on the sheet.
We can also use coal to carry some of the burden.
So I don't imagine Cole has come on the rowboat to the ship, but yes, if you can get it back to the shore, then you probably can use him.
And we have the demon grinder.
Yes. So I just put 1,000 gold pieces in there. My weight's still 30 equipment. So
It might not be adding gold weight.
Yeah, it
to the
did. It did
sheets.
increase, by the way, from 13 to 30. So
Well, mine did it right. Right, I added 500 and it increased 10 pounds. That's exactly the ratio.
oh yeah, okay. So what do you think, Adam? We get 1,500 each or something to carry?
Whatever you can fit on your sheet. If it puts you into the heavy category, again, keep in mind everything you have, right? Anything you've picked up, again, plate armor, that's like 60 pounds, right? Right. So think of all the stuff that you guys have collected here. A great sword, like if as long as you're tracking all of that stuff, then whatever your sheet says should be accurate.
So,
Well-
can I get a weight on fancy rope?
You can, yeah. Let me get you that.
You see Ranfon take a set of splint armor out of his pack and just throw it on the ground.
For the gold.
like when you drop loot in Skyrim, you know, it's like all around you in a circle.
You can't run anymore, so you're like, I gotta drop this, drop that.
Time to throw away all those 20 books I picked up. Guess I'll have to find these volumes again.
Books all over the road. I don't know. Reasonable. I'll take 2,500 gold pieces. I don't think Brando can carry more than that.
I can take 20 pounds of. No, I actually the someone else is gonna have to carry the plate armor because I'm not even gonna be able to carry that.
Well, we can
You put on the
Actually,
horse.
we can put it on the horse or in the cart.
We can each
Does-
carry one piece.
Does Dell have plate armor and Ranvon already?
No, Dell's in his chainmail.
So you could use it for sure. I was gonna
Yeah.
just throw the legs away and make myself half plate armor, but why don't we just keep it all together then, and we'll get Dell situated with it.
Get out of that chain, throw that on the ground right next to the splint.
Yeah. So Dell can carry 3,000 coin.
Yeah, load it up. Y'all do what y'all want as long as we don't exceed 6,500. So right now that I believe that's Brandon took 3,000, right?
Oh, no, I took 2,500.
2,500. So Dell took 3,000, so that's 55, and then I took 500, so that's 6, and then I think Natasha took 800. So we need to rethink how we're splitting it up because that's more coin than we have.
I could just take 500.
Dell can
No,
drop
that's
some
not
of
more
his
coin than we have because we took half of what was on the floor, which was like 30. How much did we take? How
60.
much is in the bag?
6,500.
65.
Yeah, the remaining stuff is what we're picking up from, and there's
Yes.
way more than that.
Yeah, so
I thought Adam said we could get half, so I assumed that the remaining was 6,500.
Yes, yep. My assumption here is you guys have taken 6,500 gold pieces, put it in the bag of holding, plus whatever else you already have in here, and it's a rough estimate. I'm calling that full bag of holding. So you have to account for the other 6,500 plus the plate mail if you're taking the great sword, and then anything else you're choosing to take among the stuff that was already listed here, or again, anything else on your sheet that you currently don't have a weight for that you probably should. Again, if you've got extra suits of armor just hanging on your character sheet, make sure they have weights to assign to them.
so Dell will pick up the plate.
Well, okay, Dell has the plate. We got 13,000 gold pieces. As long as we can get it out, we can sort it out at Candlekeep, and we make sure everyone has a fair share.
That was just regular plate armor, Adam.
That's what it looks like to you. Yes, without any further investigation, it is plate armor with a C embossed in the front.
Hey, Brenda, while we figure this out, can you check these items starting with the plate?
Yep. Okay, one.
The plate armor is not magical. Greatsword is not magical.
Okay, then I'll do the wand since I'm busy.
Wand is magical.
Okay, well.
Concentrating on it, you would see it has divination school magic to it.
Oh, nice. So I'll say the plate's not magical. I'll tell the group. Neither is that sword.
Why don't we leave the sword? The plate mail would be very useful for Dell.
Perhaps while this is happening, you just see Dell just start stripping off the chainmail and just put the plate armor on.
And maybe Leo could change the C to a D.
Yeah, you could definitely do that being an artificer, I'm sure. All right, we're just going to have to start calling him Dathuladash, though. But, yeah. All right. Okay, so as we're right at the end of our session time here, guys, you guys have obviously come into quite a bit of stuff. So trying to just get a rough idea of your plans moving forward. Is it your plan to sort out this stuff and hand the ship over to Tristram along with these other individuals? Other plan? You have some other idea of what you're doing for this particular piece?
I think to make everything simple, that is the plan. Is we'll give Tristram the keys to the ship or whatever.
Yep.
The boat key with the floaty device.
I would want to check with the people on like the actual ex-slaves to make sure that they are interested and want to go. But if they do, then yeah, let them.
I mean, they certainly seem, not like yay. They're more or less like curious, like, oh, okay, this sounds good, right? But they don't necessarily know either. So they I guess you could say they're cautiously optimistic.
Brandal's thinking that we should let him pay us. It shows that he didn't get stuff for free, and that just kind of makes the balance. But I don't want to roleplay that too much. But he did offer to pay us, and I don't want to take too much time.
Lexi will vehemently disagree.
And then Brian and Natalie will fight about it in real life.
I think Ramvan will also disagree. If this guy's going to take care of these people, then like greater good, let him go.
Oh, Radvon's back. The gold shimmering has dulled a little bit. You're back.
I'd have to agree. I mean, do you know the process of selling a ship? Gah. And then also, if we just say no, what are we gonna leave them here, or are we gonna have to take them all the way up to Baldur's Gate, and then we got to come back down to Candlekeep? And it just seems like a lot of stuff. We just let them have it. Go back and take Smiler and the Grinder back to the old Candlekeep, collect our payment.
Very well. Very well.
We have to keep our fan base happy.
And perhaps we can figure out which books that we shouldn't give them so that we can get back in if we so choose.
Oh, yeah, we do need to carry that. I guess we can carry the crates back up to the cart, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, we should be able to load it up. Might have to walk, but I'll manage.
All right, so it sounds like the plan then is to hand the boat over to Tristram, and then when we pick up next week, it's going to be you guys hauling a whole lot of treasure the 4 days back to Candlekeep. So we'll see if anything interesting might happen during that time. But all right, yeah, that certainly gives me a plan of how things are going to go. We discussed downtime, so obviously that will take effect once you guys make it back to the safety of Candlekeep. For those of you that didn't make your rolls yet, it worked out great where you have the time to still do that. So feel free to do so. If I don't follow up with anybody about your downtime, please just give me a quick heads up, and I'll make sure to touch base with you. We'll get those resolved. But yeah, great session, guys. Really long battle, very complicated battle. Again, high-level gameplay, getting hit from all different angles and things, but you guys served out. You guys did very well tactically and strategically here, and were able to defeat these very powerful, very tough, very intelligent opponents. So great job. We'll see you guys all next week and continue the adventure then.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Great
Take
Take care, everyone.
You
No one
guys-
died. All right.
Hey, good job, guys. Adam, you really had us separated. That was scary. Good job.
Yeah, hey, it was we're pulling a lot of different strings there. Yeah, so great job, guys.
Yeah, Del had 2 death saves.
Yeah, I saw that, the nat one.
Natural one.
I was like, oh, I hope they're going to get him a heal in there.
I rolled a natural 1.
That was
Oh.
All right, great job, guys. See you guys all next week.
Yeah, take care.